popped up on my phone.
There you go.
Right.
To beat a man, you got to beat the man. And yeah, you're the man. Absolutely.
Daniel Barry Sports, what's up? All right, everybody. Welcome. Happy New Year, everybody, to the first of many NorCal Sports Network shows. The first one of 2024.
How about that?
And the question is, where do we start off? Will this be Eric's last show?
Not a chance.
Will it be Los's last show? Yes. I can't. There he is. He's gone. Okay. Happy New Year to my partners in crime, Eric and Los. There we go. Can't get rid of these guys. No.
What's up, Val? What's up, Robert? Same to you, Necron. What's up, Senior?
So, yeah.
Los, did you change your name?
What do we got? Who's that?
Happy New Year, Eric, Lisa, and Dan. No,
hey,
it's Los.
I've been called worse, bro.
You ever heard I've been called worse by better? Yeah.
Yeah, Lisa looks okay.
Lisa, okay.
Lisa.
Maybe Mark had an ex named Lisa. Thinking about her.
Oh, man. Well, it's hey, did everybody hopefully everybody had a good New Year's.
Yeah, I'm seeing all the regulars in there, so that's good to see.
Safe, hopefully. Yeah. Nobody had to run to the ER, or hopefully not.
Right. Exactly.
But anyway, had some Taco Tuesday down at the
Taco Tuesday
at the links. There's a little golf course down at not too far from the house, and they've got a Taco Tuesday half price prime rib tacos. They are good with cilantro and onions on them. I'm telling you.
Where's that at?
Over here in first part of 24.
There it is.
Okay.
Prime rib tacos will do that to you.
They'll do it.
No,
absolutely.
It's over in Peoria. Yeah. Yeah. They're good. I mean, I had two and I was like, man, whenever I hadn't eaten all day. All right. It was, I had my smoothie and I was like, now it's like 5:30 and I'm 6 o'clock and I'm starving. And it's like, dang, this isn't whole. Oh, and I had my protein bar. I was like, okay, I got to eat, man. So I got the 2 prime rib tacos and they give you some tortilla chips with it. And I was like, you know what? I said, how about another round of tortilla chips?
Oh, that'll do it to you every time.
She says, I go, how much are those? She goes, $4.99. I go, how much are they with the two tacos? She says, $5.99. I says, well, bring me.
There you go.
And I ate two more dang tacos. I was only going to eat one of them, and when you got that, you're probably not that hungry anymore, but the taste is, now you're just enjoying the taste. Yeah. So
the question is did you do a Dan Kapler Instagram food review on it?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I don't. The prime rib was really balanced, and the cilantro with the onions was just the total. You just got to go to the links here at the best tacos in Peoria.
Yeah, when I picked up that prime rib taco,
prime rib was just oozing and dripping of juices.
Yeah,
that prime rib, I picked it up, I put it to my mouth, and that son of a bitch mooed at me. Can you believe it? It mooed at me. That's
Eric
raw
does the best Kapler.
Yeah, got to balance the smoke. Yeah. Yeah. So
he's going to a city that has good food in Miami, so I'm sure he'll be still doing those.
Yeah, he'll be doing seafood.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I had to for my first day on the job as assistant GM for the Miami Marlins, I had to go out and
buy a hat.
find the best Marlin in the city. I think I found it here at American Wave Marlins. This little cooked under my liking, a little overdone to my liking, but I like a raw fish. In fact, I like my fish still swimming. Jeez. I mean, good riddance to that clown. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but we're still stuck with another one, though.
Yeah, we're stuck with the bigger clown, though. And Buster's getting upset there, huh? He hears talking about Farhan. He starts getting upset. It's okay, buddy. Yeah, what are we going to do with this guy? I mean, what are we going to do with this guy?
Here it is, January 2nd, and we're still stuck with the 2023 roster right now.
Hey, I'll tell you what, guys. This particular roster, this might be a 72, 73 win team right around there.
Mm-hmm.
Fifth place.
I mean,
fighting the Rockies.
Yeah, this is a bad roster right now. It's very, very poorly constructed. I mean, as the saying goes, hey, they're pretty old, but you know what? But they're slow too.
They're old, but they're slow. Yeah,
it's like they don't even have any. I mean, I don't know what positive traits they have on this team other than Webb and Duvall, and maybe some of the younger guys like Bailey's catching and Schmidt's defense, and maybe the fact that Luciano could become a player worth watching. But other than that, I mean, my goodness, there's not one outfielder. I mean, I guess I'd be interested in seeing what Matos and Ramos and Fitzgerald and those guys could do. I'm at the point right now. Look, you either go and put the in fact, we might have to put that up for everybody who isn't on Twitter. We can start our discussion here. I put together a plan. It was pretty well thought out, but I could see where there's some holes in my.
That was a good plan. I put it up yesterday on my show.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that's good. The only thing I didn't like is this to Stroman. That's the only part of the deal that I didn't care for.
Stroman?
Yeah. I heard he's a cancer. That's what I've heard.
Oh, really?
That's the last thing.
I think, I don't know. I'm not sure. I kind of rethought my plan, and I'm not sure. I didn't realize Jonathan India was a horrible defensive player.
Oh,
and
okay.
I looked up his.
I didn't know that either.
I looked up his stats, and I found out that he was pretty bad on defense. So that kind of, I'm trying to find it. I can't find it. Where the heck is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, let me pull it up here. My tweet yesterday, in the evening. You guys see that?
Yep. You got to just hit the show more so it blows it up.
Yeah. So this will be long. This will be long, but it will take a big plan to fix the Giants. Here's the plan. And of course, I just said it. I don't know if Farhan has it in him. Okay. Here's my deal. A lot of people, they say sign Blake Snell. A lot of people think it's going to take a lot more, that he's not going to sign for 3 or 4 years. Probably right. Rodon got 6 and 162 for the Yankees last year. Snell's got 2 Cy Youngs, less arm problems. So he's probably looking at least 6 and 175. I don't know if I want to do that for a guy that's 31.
Right.
So I built it this way. Look, we'll pay you more per year. $32.5 million this works out to for 4 years. 132 or 130 if he stays. Let's say he's crap. He isn't good. Giants have the option of buying him out after the 3rd year at $12.5 million buyout. That means he would collect 110 for 3 years, which is what Gosman's getting for 5 years, right?
Okay, gotcha.
So 3 years, for 110, he would be able to go out and sign with somebody. Everybody's going to look for a lefty, and he can probably get 2 years from somebody at $40 million. So then he gets 150 for 5, right? I mean, you see what I'm going with that? If he's willing, I don't know why he hasn't signed yet. My guess is he hasn't signed because Boris isn't getting the offers he thinks he's worth.
That's a good possibility.
That's
of
my
what's going
guess.
on.
Otherwise, there's no reason that
to be hanging
Snell
around right now. Yeah.
and Stroman and Montgomery. I mean, doesn't Boris represent Montgomery too?
Correct.
So he's waiting on Snell now to fall. So now the domino earlier was Yamamoto. Now it's Boris. And
first we thought it was damn Shohei. Then it was Yamamoto.
Yeah, now it's Snell. And Boris is got the next guy down in Montgomery. So he's not going to sign Montgomery until he's probably got close to a deal with Snell. And he's also got Bellinger. And so Boris is holding up the whole dang free agency. And I think I came up with something the other day, guys. Talked to Eric about it. Yeah, there's holes in this too. I think you should maybe do something like signing period is December 1st through the 31st. It opens up the free window in November. Do all the negotiating you want in November. It's kind of like, hey, you got the whole month and you got the rest of the month of December to negotiate. If you can't negotiate a contract in two months, I'm sorry. I mean, I see NBA guys, they agree the night of, 12 o'clock midnight. Hey, he's signing. NFL free agency. These guys are signing. Hargrave, Niners picked him up on day one, early in the morning, right, Los?
Yes.
I mean, come on. This isn't rocket science,
Very refreshing.
So that's it. December 1st through the 31st of December. We break players into 5 different tiers. Okay, 5 tiers. If you're not labeled in one of the, if you're not labeled in one of those 5 tiers, you're one of those guys that gets a camp invite or something like that. No penalties. But the penalties, if you sign anybody after December 31st, is twofold. It's one on the player and one on the team. That way, both have skin in the game.
Right.
So there's no collusion going on. Here's the penalty. If a player signs after December 31st, he is not able to participate in the first 15 regular season games, and it's without pay. The team that signs a guy after the 31st, they're going to forfeit a draft pick or something. I don't know what the answer is. But you got to get these guys signed earlier. This is ridiculous.
You remember last year, guys, we talked about some of the reasons why baseball has fallen into third place behind football and basketball is because they just don't know how to market the game. I mean, don't you think the executives in baseball would get together and say, you know what, we need to make free agency a little bit more exciting for the fans? What can we do? You would think they'd put their heads together and do something. Like you said, great idea. Let's condense it down to a 30-day period. That way things will start happening faster and quicker and fans can get more excited. To drag it out, like open it in November, and here we are now in January, and there's still a ton of people out there.
Oh, it's ridiculous, Lowe's.
Bad marketing. It's just bad marketing.
It's bad marketing. They could really get a lot of boost, excitement, knowing that these players are going to sign, and the incentive for the player and the agent. I mean, I think you got to start penalizing the agent too. Maybe the agent gets the agent that doesn't sign his player takes a 50% cut.
Take a hit, man.
Takes a 50%. Everybody's got to be involved. Player takes a hit. Team takes a hit. How about the team losing their first round draft pick or losing all their international money for the next year? I mean,
I think Nick J in the chat has a real strong comment about the players
The
union.
yeah.
I think the baseball player union may be the strongest of the three.
Oh, absolutely. It's the strongest.
I mean, there could be very much the reason why a lot of things don't get done. Like the players have so much leverage, and the agents.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not close. Is the current contract? How long is it up for?
It's every 5 years. It's every 5 years.
Yeah. It is really frustrating there. So let me go back to this kind of jump topics here in the middle of this, but let's the signing. Here's the Giants' plan, and I think this would make the Giants instantly wild card contenders, and that's what you want to do with it. Listen to the rest of this plan, and then
we'll hash it out.
You guys can poke holes in it, whatever you want, or however. This is just my dealing. If I was running the show, and I got money, so it's just a matter of making it happen. Go out and get Snell. He's the centerpiece of my pitching staff behind Webb, and I give him big money. And I'm even willing. Listen to this, guys. I'm even willing to bump it up to $40 million a year for 3 years. At 120 with a fourth year of 160, as long as I have that buyout after 3 years. I don't want to get stuck with a guy that has 2 or 3 crappy years and I got to pay him a fourth year. If he's not producing, he should be able to say, man up and say, you know what? I didn't earn my pay.
Yes.
I mean, come on. You're going to collect 120. If I pay you 40, you're getting 120 for 3 years. And you're going to get me, I'm going to give you a $10 million buyout. You're going to collect $130 million in 3 years. Okay. That's $43.3 million a year for 3 crappy years. Okay. Because if you're having a good year, at least 2 of those 3 years, you're probably getting the fourth year. Unless the third year is so atrocious, pulls a stripling. Okay. But come on, 40 years. I'd be willing to go 40-4, but I don't want to go over. I don't want a 35-year-old making that much money that doesn't command the strike zone.
That's what Boris is holding out for. That's 6th and 7th year.
He's holding out for that 7-year, $200 million plus contract. Exactly. Yep. And I don't think he's getting it right now. And I think that's what the holdup is. I really do. Because if he was getting it, he would have signed. So I think some teams realize, look, Shohei's an anomaly. I mean, Yamamoto's an anomaly, right? Mm-hmm. He's a unicorn. He's 25. He's got great stuff with 3 or 4 pitches.
Yeah.
And he's got great control. You look at Snell, he led the majors in walks. He's 31, and he's had 2 Cy Young Award years, and the rest of his years have been pretty erratic.
Yes. So
which one are you getting? And I'm not paying a guy like that $200 million. Sorry. Okay, so my next guy, I'm signing Shota Imanaga. And I'm looking at his market value based in the research, and I think $20 million a year for a guy that's about 30 years old is pretty fair, and it's $100 million. And then I'm signing Cody Bellinger here first, and I bit the bullet here on this one. I don't want to go 10-200. Right. I really don't want to go 7-175, but the guy's 28.
Right.
I think he can play till he's 30. I mean, if you get 5 good years out of it, sometimes you have to eat $50 million. Okay.
Correct. Got it.
And if you get 5 good years out of him, that takes you through his age 33. And I give Bellinger opt-outs after years 3 and 4. And then I'm signing Marcus Stroman, about $21 million a year, and giving him an opt-out after 1 and 2 years. Now he had a $25 million contract if he stayed in it. He opted out He had a 3-year, $75 million deal. So why would he sign for less than $25 million? Because he gets 2 extra years of guarantees on the contract. That's why. And I think that's why he opted out, because he knows if he goes into this year and doesn't do well, now he's going to enter age 34 off a bad year. He might not get nothing but a 1-year deal.
Right.
Guys are looking for security. This gives him $21 million a year, 3 years, and he can opt out if he chooses. I just want some stability this year with the rotation. Then I'm signing Jorge Soler, $15 million a year, 3 years. The guy can rake. He hits about 250, hit 36 bombs last year. I'm signing Rhys Hoskins. Yes, he's not a great defensive player. Probably either Soler, but if you got Lee and Bellinger in the outfield, they can cover ground. I think that helps. I'd put Soler in right. I'd put Lee in center and let Bellinger roam center field. Now I've got I'm signing back John Brebbia. Why? Because he's a great guy to have in the clubhouse. He's good. And he's good. And he made about $2.5 million before. 2 years, $5 million. And then I'm signing Jordan Hicks. The guy he's a flamethrower. He could be your setup guy in the 7th or 8th. You could close the game with you could go one Rogers brother, Hicks, the other Rogers brother to Duvall, shorten your game to a 6-inning game, a lot of games. Brebbia could be in that back end of the rotation. And I'm trading Michael Conforto. I mentioned here about India. I understand India is not that great of a fielder. Maybe that's not the right guy. But I like Conforto in Cincinnati because he's on a 1-year deal with $18 million left on it. I'm paying $10 million of his salary. Cincinnati, the guy can hit in that ballpark. I'm telling you, he would hit 30 homers there. So I don't know. Maybe I can find another guy. But India's a player. He was rookie of the year in 21. He's only played 3 years. Maybe that defense can get a little bit better. I don't know. Maybe you could make him a third baseman or a platoon guy. I don't know. So, and then I'm trading Mitch Haniger and Jairo Pomares to Philly. Why to Philly? Because I think Haniger would hit well in that lineup. I do. I think guys like Harper and Schwarber and Castellanos, they're kind of hurting out there for a left field. They had to play Schwarber, didn't they, in left field a lot? He's their DH.
No, I thought he was the DH.
Well, I can't remember.
Who did they have in left?
I don't think they had that solid of a left fielder, if I remember right.
You know, you could always do too, Dan. If you're not going to trade for India, you could swap Haniger for Conforto. Conforto will be able to hit some bombs in Philly.
True.
Yeah, but if you trade for India, where does he play?
Yeah,
No,
he was going to be just a backup guy. I was just going to have a great bench. I'd like to have guys that are athletic, that can run. And then this Aldo, however you say his first name,
Alberto
Mondesi. The guy can fly. He was out last year with a knee, but that guy would be unbelievable on the bases. He's not a bad hitter. He's got speed, and he's insurance behind Luciano if Luciano needs more seasoning, or if you want to move Luciano to the outfield. Okay, so this plan, what it does is it adds 3 starting pitchers in Snell, Imanaga, and Stroman. I went Stroman because I think Montgomery's going to cost you more in longer years. And then so you get some power and speed with Bellinger, some power in Hoskins, a hitter, and Soler. Soler can play outfield or DH. get some infield depth with athleticism in India and Mondesi. And I said, although Chapman's a solid third baseman, I wouldn't sign him. I'd put the money into starting pitching and play Casey Schmidt at third. Signing Bellinger brings in a star player that could attract future stars. Okay. A lot of people don't like Bellinger, think he's a risk. Well, every free agent on this list is a risk.
Is a risk. Exactly.
Every one of them is a risk.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to go with a guy that's had MVP year, came back, bounced back after a couple of rough years and hit over 326 homers and stole bases and plays a hell of a defense. So my rotation looks like this: Webb, Snell, Imanaga, Stroman, and Harrison. And you're going to need a 6-man rotation, at least for Imanaga pitching every 6 days. So maybe until Cobb's ready, you throw out a
Win and Beck
every time just to push back. Instead of using an opener, you use a starter, and that is Win or Beck, and then you pitch Imanaga. The rest of the guys can be on a 5-man rotation. You can just go Webb, Snell, Imanaga. Webb, Snell, and Stroman and Harrison on 5 days, and just pitch Imanaga every 6 day. By whenever his turn comes up, you push. I know it does throw everybody else off onto a 6 day when you do that, but I don't think Imanaga is going to want to pitch on 5 days. And I think you just make Webb your workhorse. Maybe Snell does better on 6 days. Maybe he has more juice in his fastball. I don't know. My lineup: Lee leading off in left field, Estrada at second. I got a lefty, a righty, then a lefty in Bellinger, and a righty in Soler, righty Hoskins. A little bit right heavy-handed here, but you still got Yaz on the bench. You got Murphy, the catcher. Wade could play first base or outfield, so you don't need to carry a ton of outfielders. You got Yaz, Wade, and more trades might be needed because the roster's pretty crowded. Because with that many on the bench, that only leaves room for 11-man pitching staff. So, one of these guys would have to go on the bench. It'd have to be either Mondesi or Wade or somebody. So you probably would have to make another trade. And Davis and Flores could be guys that could bring you some, guys traded to keep more athletic players. I'd rather keep the athletic guys on the field around than the non-athletic guys. I think JD's a great guy to have around, but he can play third base if needed. I kind of like JD Davis on the bench, coming off the bench and spot starting.
He plays a suitable third base. His defense is actually pretty good, man.
He does.
How is Chapman better than JD Davis?
That's the whole thing. That's my point. I'd rather have JD Davis and save the money.
JD's making what, $6 million?
Something like that. Yeah, it's.
Right now, JD Davis is a better player than Chapman. He doesn't have as good a glove, but he sure as hell is a better hitter.
Yeah.
So I don't want Chapman in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. So this adds about $110 million salary after trades. By paying the $10 million for Conforto. Maybe you could trade DeSclafani and a prospect to maybe St. Louis or Boston to get rid of his $12 million salary. So that's kind of my plan. It's again, there's a lot that can be done to it. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it is I'm a dreamer, Lou says. Super tramp. Yeah, I am dreaming, but that's, I can't be anything other than myself. I'm a wheeler and a dealer. I mean, anybody that played in our fantasy league knows that. I don't mess around. I play to win. I have a plan, and
the bottom line is Dan has a plan. He may not agree with it, but it sure as hell beats what's going on right now, which is a bunch of Z's followed by more Z's.
Yeah. I mean,
So, you know,
what am I doing there? I'm signing how many guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 free agents. He signed 6 last year. They're just not anybody of significance. He signed
Right.
Conforto and Hoskins, Taylor Rogers, Jock Peterson back was a 4th. He signed Stripling and Mania, 6. Okay. I mean, I just signed 7, but I signed guys of significance. I mean, tell me that Stroman, Snell, and Imanaga is not better than Stripling and Mania. How about Hoskins, a proven first baseman hitter with a hitter that's, yeah, he's coming off injury, but it's a knee. It's not like, I mean, guys come back from ACLs all the time. Jordan Hicks have you seen that guy throw, man?
I like the idea of picking up Jordan Hicks. And to piggyback off of that, I would, if I did sign Hicks, I would see what I could get for Doval. Roll the dice. Hicks has the stuff to be a closer. And if some team out there loves Doval as a young stud closer and offers a middle of the lineup guy, preferably an outfielder, I'm all in on that.
I like that. I'm gonna come back to a trade here too, real quick. Robert Boyd, $5. Thank you, Robert. Says great show, Eric, or great show last night, Eric. Hey, appreciate it. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Great talk earlier, Los.
Hey, we had a good chat.
Good, and a happy New Year's as well, everyone. Love the list.
Thank you, Robert.
as well.
Happy New Year to you
Great
and everyone else out there. I mean, this plan really isn't a rocket science plan. It's thinking things through. How do you want to build your team? When I look at the lineup again, the lineup has got
I like two right-handed power guys in there, Dan. I like Hoskins and Soler for that ballpark.
Yeah, 4 and 5. Look at our 4-hole last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean-
was it Yaz?
I mean, and look at the 3-hole Bellinger. I mean, there's a way that you could move Bellinger up to 2 if you wanted and move Estrada down.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see what Luciano does at some point, man. The guy, I mean, I think he's.
Here's a question I was just
We
going
don't
to
know.
ask. Would you want to trade Luciano now? I mean, he's still high. You get a lot back for him.
I'm warming up to it.
If
Like
if I got something of
Right, it's
solid
gonna-
return,
That's what I'm saying. I'm not.
I'll tell you what I would do. I'd stick him and Wisenhunt in a trade, or Harrison for Burns if I had
Okay.
Burns agree to sign a multi-year deal before, contingent on the trade.
Okay.
I'd do
I
that.
like that.
I'd love to know how the Giants brass thinks if they were to put them in order, their young pitchers. Like, is it Harrison 1, Wisenhunt 2, Black 3? Is Wisenhunt first? A lot of people like Wisenhunt more than Harrison. Better control, and his number 1 pitch changeup is like a 90.
That's nasty. Nasty.
Harrison's number 1 pitch is a fastball. It's a nasty changeup. He could be the better pitcher, but this is what your job is all about now: is to identify who of our young players are going to be like fixtures on this roster for the next 5 to 10 years. And if we identify those guys, we're not trading or signing anybody to block them. That's why I'm against Chapman.
Mm-hmm.
If Casey Schmidt is going to be your third baseman, and maybe he doesn't become a stud this year, but maybe he's pretty good, and the next year he's good, and the following year he's really good. That's developmental. That's what the Giants used to do with their younger players that they don't do anymore. So if you sign Chapman for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, Casey Schmidt is probably not going to get on the field, and he's not going to be, he's going to be good for somebody else when he decides to leave for a free agent.
Yeah.
That is first and foremost why I don't want Chapman in any way, shape, or form. But the Giants as an organization have to identify who their stud young players are going to be. And the guys that are not going to be, trade them. And I've been wanting to keep Luciano at all costs, but I'm starting to warm up to the fact that maybe he might not be the guy. And if he can get us an established player now, I'm a little more open to it than I was.
We haven't even really seen Luciano because he's had some
Right.
injuries and
Right.
stuff, the back and different
That's what
things.
concerns me.
Yeah. Hey, we have an LA Dodger.
In batting practice, but you got to do more than that.
We got a Dodger troll in here, Paul Vaughn. Hey, welcome, Paul.
What's up,
have
Paul?
a message for Giants fans. The LA Dodgers are number one. We know he's not from the Bay Area because he just said, "Have a nice day, Frisco." We don't call it Frisco.
He did that on purpose.
He does. That's why he's trolling.
But you know
he
what?
knows that's going to rile us up.
But I don't have to get riled up.
He's
He's
not
not riled up about that.
He's not wrong. He has the right to talk right now.
He can talk like that. He can say Dodgers are number one. Yes, they are the regular season champs. But they will not.
What upsets native San Franciscans more, when it's called Frisco or San Fran? I'm curious, because I know they don't like both.
I think Frisco. But I don't think the Dodgers are the strongest team in the National League right now. I still don't. The Dodgers are chasing the Braves. Braves just got
Chris Sale.
Chris Sale, who came off one of his better years of late because he's been injured so much.
Yep.
He had I think he pitched 100 innings roughly last year, I think, if I recall, and he had like 126 strikeouts, only 87 hits.
Yeah,
hey, look, the Braves, that's a guy that if he was in our fantasy league, I would have a hard time beating him. Andropoulos. That guy knows how to run a team.
Doesn't he, though?
He makes moves when nobody thinks he's thinking completely outside the box constantly. He lets Freddie Freeman walk. You know why he let Freddie Freeman walk? Because he had the deal with Olsen already agreed to.
He's already ready to go.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a GM that anticipates and thinks ahead.
Yeah, and how about the Dodgers? Did you see what they did with the opt-outs for Yamamoto?
Yamamoto, yeah.
They're thinking outside the box, and the player agreed to it because they're giving him a lot of money. But
it's just a step ahead. Yeah, they're just a step ahead.
Exactly.
It does. When you look at Friedman, you look at Andropoulos, and you look at Dombrowski with the Phillies. Is there any coincidence that all three of those teams are near the top? And how about let's give credit to Arizona's GM, Mike. What's his name? Mike Hazen. Is it Mike?
I think it's Mike Hazen.
Good baseball ops guy. Knows what he's doing. If it wasn't, I think they would be even further ahead if it wasn't for the tragic situation he went through in the 22 season with his wife dying of cancer. He had 3 or 4 young kids. I mean, he had to take time away from the job, just to deal with his wife passing, her illness. And, that's a guy that has a plan. He's already made a trade. He knew he didn't want Longoria. Even though Longoria did help him slightly, he moved on. He brought in the third baseman from Seattle. What's his name?
They brought in
he
Suarez.
was with the Reds.
Suarez.
Yeah, Suarez. Power.
And they made a move today. Tucker Barnhart for a depth move for catcher.
Okay, so they got Tucker Barnhart. He's a guy that I asked Kapler about last year in spring training. I said, "Did you guys ever consider Tucker Barnhart as a backup?" He said we liked him. Tucker Barnhart was a guy that is a pretty decent hitting, and that was before they had Bailey.
Right.
I mean, I was thinking Barnhart would have been really good behind whether it was Bart or Perez at the time, entering camp. So we look at these teams that are doing all of the movement that have a plan. I mean, what is Farhan? This is what ticks me off about him is he waits and waits and waits instead of being proactive and aggressive. What you do with your plan is you go out. I mean, crap. He's dealing with Boras has got 3 of the guys. He's got Snell, Hoskins, and Bellinger.
And
Who's the 4th?
And Montgomery.
Well, yeah, I wasn't counting on Montgomery.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
but he's got 3 of the guys he wants. Hey, if you can get Montgomery as part of the package and do all 4, go ahead and skip out on Stroman. But my goodness.
And the good organizations that drafted well and stocked their team with talent from their own organization have the tools with these prospects to trade for more talent, are laughing their asses off at these teams that did not do well and are forced to have to sign free agents and overpay for these guys. That is why drafting is the core of building your team. That's what Farhan was supposed to be good at. So far,
And Los, what about this? He's looking at bringing in Chapman, and he drafted Casey Schmidt himself in the second round.
Yes.
exactly. I mean, that's so.
What does this say about his ability to evaluate, draft, and develop?
He
If
doesn't.
you're going to give up on a guy that
early.
a year ago, I mean, this time last year, you were talking about Casey Schmidt as go read the reviews. Go read everything about. They were comparing him to who? Who were they comparing him to?
Matt Williams.
No.
Glove wise.
No. Who were they comparing him to?
Don't remember.
The guy they want to sign.
Oh, Matt Chapman.
Oh, you're right.
It's like,
He's a young Matt Chapman.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Let's get the new and improved version. No, let's get the older model.
Yeah.
Let me get the 1998 model that's got 160,000 miles on it and pay more money for it. Hello. Or I can get the brand new model.
We got
brand new tires.
Kevin Dodgers Guerrero. He says, I come in peace as a Dodger fan. I enjoy listening to your Giants takes. Go Dodgers. All right. I like that.
all right, thanks, Kev.
Hold on, Kev.
Good.
So,
good chat.
yeah, so that's exactly it, Lowe's. All right, you're the salesman. Okay, I've got this. It's not even a vintage, It's not even a vintage model. It's a. I've got
not
this.
A vintage, not a '69 Camaro.
I've got a 2020. I got a 2016 model here. I've got a Ford. What's their big the big car? What's that big car?
There's a lot of big cars.
The Ford one, their big one that used to have
Ford F-150 truck.
No, not their truck, but their car. I can't even remember
The
it.
Fairline?
Nah,
How about an old Oldsmobile? That's what you
An old Oldsmobile. An old Oldsmobile.
Yeah, I got the 2016 model. Like you said, it's got 100,000 miles. It has had its engine replaced once. It's like it's not even an engine replaced. It's had it repaired. We didn't put a new one in. We just repaired it. It's a new hip. It's got a new hip.
There you go. The Thunderbird. How about that?
Yeah,
Hey,
that's the one I'm looking at.
Apologies to Red Jet and her 2008 Lancer with 204,000 miles. Hey, much love if you got that thing still running. Way to go.
So
Continue.
I got the 2016 model. It's got 100,000 miles. It's a little worn, and we've got a 23 model. It's only a year old. It's only got a couple thousand miles because it didn't get a lot of work last year, but we got it started up really good. Then we had to send it back to the factory for a little bit of tune up down in Sacramento. But it's looks like we got all the kinks worked out as it fired off really well the last series of the season with 2 home runs against the Dodgers. And the glove is great. It's fresh. It's new. The arm is second to none. It might be the best arm in baseball at third base. But which one do you want? You want to go
imagine that salesman saying the 2016 model is going to run you $999 a month on the payments, and the brand new car is going to run you $399 a month on the payments. Which one are you going to take? Farhan's taking the $999. Hey, give me the older car, man.
It seems that way.
This is why Farhan is in a freaking rudderless boat on the high seas. And of course, you got to rely on Boris the shark. There you go.
Daewoo Hung-Hoo Lee. Jung-Hoo Lee is a Daewoo. Daewoo, what is that model? I've seen Daewoos out there. What is that a car or is that a Daewoo?
You know, the sad part about Lee is that if they don't do anything, and this is the team that they go into the season with, what if this kid actually plays pretty well? He gets on base, he steals bases, and there's nobody behind him hitting him in. So his run totals are going to go down. And he's going to be a good player. What were we talking about last week? The Giants have a bunch of 2- and 3-star players. So, you know, if Lee becomes a 3.5 and a 4-star player in a lineup full of 2s and 3s, it's going to diminish his value as a leadoff hitter because he's not going to score a lot of runs because he's not going to have RBI guys behind him. So,
well, let me go back to this.
What did you overpay Lee for to get on base and score? Well, he's not going to score if you don't got the guys to drive him.
Yeah, and you overpaid for him. Exactly.
Well, look at that lineup there. If you had Bellinger, Soler, and Hoskins, what would you put a star rating on those 3 guys?
Bellinger, I'd say probably a 3.5. Soler, probably a 3.
Bellinger off of last year is a 4.
I think Bellinger's a 4.
Think's a 4.
I think Soler is really close to a 4.
Yeah,
maybe 3.75. Hoskins is
before he got hurt, he was a 4.
Who, Hoskins?
Before he got hurt, he was
he was like a 3.5, 3.75. He wasn't a real all-star. He's a solid player.
He doesn't give you great average, but he gives you power.
Yeah, he gives you power.
You know, it could be Flores at DH. It could be Haniger if they keep him.
Yeah.
I hope for Haniger. We'll see.
So, so Bellinger becomes your only 4 position player. Now you put Lee up there, and he gets on base. Maybe Estrada, a guy that's a 270 plus hitter, or would you prefer they go out and sign Donovan Solano? He's not great on defense, but he can hit. He's out there. So my point is
nice for us.
Let's say you had Bellinger, Soler, and Hoskins, 3, 4, 5. Is that middle? I mean, right now they're 3, 4, 5 is probably the bottom of baseball. Does that 3, 4, 5 bring them into the top half, or does it bring them
substantially better?
Does that 3, 4, 5 bring them into the 12 range? 10, 12?
Yeah, top 15.
Okay.
I have to think about everybody's lineup, but I don't think it's top 10. But it's solid. It's really solid.
Yeah, it's a solid. I mean, there's not you look at Soler, the guy he's dangerous. And isn't he pretty much a pull hitter too?
I think he's a dead pull hitter, right?
I'm trying to think of.
I know he hit some bums in Miami.
I believe in Miami, yeah. But yeah, most of his homers go to left. Man, when he gets a hold of it, he's got a lot of power.
Okay, so I mean, if you're Farhan and your goal is to make this team competitive, I mean, I see 2 options here. You do something like this, or you just play the young guys. Because if they just sign Lee and, let's say, Chapman, how much better are they? They're not going to compete. And why do you want to just, be middle of the road to the bottom again? Why not?
That's what he wants.
I mean,
that's
Bellinger, I know a lot of people don't like Bellinger. And I understand why, because his swing was really bad in 21, 22. He couldn't even hit 200, couldn't hit the ball. And then last year's exit velocity was kind of down. But he still managed to hit 300.
And hit over 20 bombs. I think it was like 24,
26.
26.
And I'm not sure how many RBIs he had, but he's 28. And you saw the greatness. This is the age guys really start learning how to adjust. They've seen a lot of things come their way. He obviously had to adjust last year to cut down on his strikeouts.
Now here's a question with your.
Speaking of adjustment, I liked the young Casey Schmidt last year. Towards the end of the year, looks like he made some adjustments.
Yep. Grant says Soler cannot play outfield. He plays right field a lot. He can play, but he's also, I see your point, is a DH. And I would not mind having a DH and putting Yaz. I would say, okay, Yaz can fit out there in right field. Now you're going with 3 lefties. I'm okay with that to an extent. A lot of teams have 3 righties in their outfield, right?
I would love to have a DH that we could just play every day, and he could be an 80 to 100 RBI guy. Like, that's what he's there for. DH.
Soler would do that. Soler would do that for sure.
Traditionally, their DHs have been like 230, 240, not too much power, not too much speed. I would love a bopper like JD Martinez. I think JD Martinez could still hit.
Yeah.
Just every day he hits righties and lefties. Pencil him in. He's our DH. How many RBIs did Martinez have for the Dodgers last year? Was it 100? And they got him cheap.
Yeah, he's out there. Cliff Martinez says he preferred Josh Naylor. Who's he with? The Guardians?
Guardians.
Is he a free agent or a trade?
I think he is.
I have to pull up the.
I like Naylor. That's a good call. There's some guys that are not big names that are good ball players. And to Cliff's point, again, I think that they might do better in that ballpark. Guys that hit line drives and have a little speed will do well at this ballpark. Or right-handed power hitters. Left-handed power hitters, unless you're Babe Ruth or Barry Bonds, probably not. You got to get guys that are going to play in that ballpark 81 games and do well.
Let's take a peek at the free agents out there right now by position, and we'll see. Is this the one I want? Is that showing up, guys?
Yep.
Okay, there's your catchers. I would have preferred Mitch Garver than Tom Murphy, but Farhan went for the lesser model. All right, so we've already got, first baseman. There's Hoskins at a 2.3 WAR. Wow, Belt had I know some people would like to see Belt back. I just don't think Belt can be healthy enough to play that long. Hey, Mike Ford.
Huh.
Yeah, that's not a great list there. I think Hoskins is the guy to go for it on that list.
Trey Mancini is intriguing. He did not have a good year with the Cubs, but I believe the years before, I want to say with Baltimore.
Yeah.
Pretty decent hitter. Again, you're hoping to, get him in his hot year. Who knows?
Second base looks pretty thin.
I like Whit Merrifield.
I love Whit Merrifield. I wanted him 3 years ago.
That guy can hit. I don't care if he's
and they could have had him, but they didn't go for him.
I know. I wanted him.
Shortstop. Are these career wars or last year's wars?
I think it's career because there's no way Brandon Crawford had a 2.6 WAR.
No way. Yeah. All right. So is that their average WAR per season or?
No, I think that's probably their career. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay,
that's what I'm thinking.
So here's your.
Or is it projected? It might be projected. I don't know.
Let me see if it tells us up here. Total across
seasonal 22. Age is included in parentheses next to his name.
Wins says total across.
Oh, for the last 2 years. 23. Okay. The last 2 seasons.
Okay, so second shortstop, Dodgers had Ahmed Rosario. He's only 28. If you're looking for somebody to back up Luciano, some people like Tim Anderson.
I don't know about Tim Anderson.
Not crazy. I went
Not
for
crazy.
I went for Mondesi because I think you can get him for cheap, and he's only 28, and he's fast. Giants have zero
They got
speed.
Kiki Hernandez.
Yeah, they do. Now, third baseman, there's your Matt Chapman. Candelario's already signed. Gio Urshela is being talked at. Who did I see? The Yankees?
Back
maybe
to New York. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at all those 38-year-olds, man. Jeez. Okay, so the list gets so left fielders. Gurriel's already re-signed with the Diamondbacks. Peterson's out there. Of course, he's DH. Pham. Brantley's not a bad guy to look at for a stopgap, I guess. But, they got so many outfielders, the Giants. It's just like – that's why – where the heck was center field's going to be – I thought Bellinger. Okay, look at that. 28 years old. Michael Taylor's not a bad guy if you want some defense. No stick. Duvall, it's a guy who's got some pop.
You're cutting out, Los.
Yeah, you're cutting out again. It's 24, Los. What happened?
He's frozen.
Oh, man.
Did you lose me?
Yeah, you were frozen
now he's back
for a while.
Yeah, for about 10 seconds or so.
10? Good God.
Yeah.
I've had no internet issues since
hey, there we go. Wait a minute. Where did I see him? Where did I see him? He was on. There he is.
AJ.
Let's go get that guy. Let's go get that guy. So there's your right fielders. I think if you just go out and solve this, I really think the more I look at this, the more I like the guys I want to sign. Seriously. I mean, Bellinger, Hoskins, and Soler. Who else does the trick on there? And you're not signing Hoskins and Soler that long term. Who else is on here that in the outfield?
The only outfielder that's worth anything is Bellinger. Everyone else is Giants already got guys like that, and it's a crowded outfield. So you're going to have to do something with that. It's the outfield's a mess right now with the San Francisco Giants.
I mean,
unless there's a trade in there somewhere.
Where's our pitching? Here's our pitching. See, the deal that's screwing things up for the free agent market with Snell is Aaron Nola. 31, signed for 7 years. And what did he get?
172.
That's ridiculous. So Snell
chain reaction
is going to want over that. Or 6 years and 175. That's the problem.
God, why couldn't you sign Michael Walker? You mean to tell me you couldn't offer him 2 or 3 years? He rediscovered his changeup last year. God, that makes me sick.
Look at what Kansas City did.
Kansas City got a bunch of those type
They
of
got
players.
Waka, Luga, and
Lugo, right?
Lugo, I mean. And
Waka and Rodriguez.
I thought they got one other pitcher.
Reasonable.
Yeah, there was another pitcher they got. Oh, they got the closer, Will Smith.
Okay, I thought they signed
Johnny
another
Cueto's
starter.
up here, Ron, once you get him back.
I see
Mad
him.
bum.
Yamamoto, look at that. Keuchel's washed. Bumgarner's, he's washed. Montez signed with the Reds for $16 million.
That's
1
right.
year.
Yep.
$16 million. So what's that tell you the market's like?
Everybody's overpaid.
What do you think of what good old Robert there? He donated $2. Thanks, Robert. Said Trevor Bauer would be a solid pickup.
Actually, it would.
Would it be solid? Do you think it'd be solid?
Are you talking about his pitching, or
Everything.
the whole package?
You're gonna. It's the whole package. Yeah.
It wouldn't. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm tired already. Too many late nights the last couple nights. Catching up to me.
It's tiring discussing Farhan and waiting for him to make a move.
Yeah,
It's like watching paint dry, man.
exactly.
I got a question for you guys and everybody in the chat. I was talking to a couple of friends in regards to loyalty, and it pertains. They were specifically talking about the Warriors, but it can translate to the Giants just as easily. They were kind of debating me, saying like, you need to stay with Klay Thompson, you need to stay with Steph Curry, you need to stay with Draymond Green until the wheels fall off. And it got me thinking how the Giants held on to their players, kind of, let them kind of get older and not so good, and the Niners as well. But the question I have is, are fans more loyal to players that are dynamic, or are they more loyal to the organization and the team?
Oh wow, good point.
Well, I bring this up because when I was, what was it? When nobody loved Joe Montana more than I did. Nobody loved the guy. When he went to Kansas City, and Dan can attest to this, so many Niner fans became Chiefs fans. They bought his jersey, everything. And I was like, nope. I go, love you, Joe, but you don't wear SF anymore. You're Chiefs. And when the Niners played the Chiefs, I was hoping they knocked his head off. I know what he did for the organization, but I was loyal to the team. I'm loyal to the front of the jersey, not the back of the jersey. I love a player, but once they leave, that's it. So I guess my question is, in general, if you fall in love with a player, whoever it may be, baseball, basketball, football, you love him for whatever reason, and he goes to another team, are you rooting for that team? And when I mean root for that team, rooting for them more than the Giants, 49ers, and Warriors. That's what I mean. I know you could say, well, I'll pull for them because he's over there. No, I'm saying if somebody from the Giants you love leaves and they play the Giants, are you rooting for him or are you rooting for the Giants?
Well,
I guess it depends on it's a loaded question. But
yeah. With Farhan, I can tell you this. The train. With Farhan last year, I didn't have too much problems rooting against the Giants at the end of the year because I wanted them to get rid of Farhan. That's how much I cared about the Giants long term. I was willing to sacrifice short term losses to just see the Giants just say, you know what? This guy is not the right guy for the job.
Right.
I wanted Farhan and Gabe gone. I wanted to just completely restart and bring in people like they started to with Melvin, guys that are baseball people that have Giants heritage in them. I'm tired of guys that have, running this organization that don't have any part of the Giants' success. I know Melvin was here before. He was here during the division title, I think. And wasn't he here in 87 with the Giants? Melvin?
Yeah, he was on that 87 team.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric, can you highlight Morkatma's comment? That's a tough one. He's really conflicted.
That's got to be tough.
Yeah.
I agree. My wife being from the Philippines, I love rooting for, Cameron Bynum of the Vikings. I was pulling for the Vikings. She's even got a Cam Bynum jersey now. I bought her. And
does she have a Manny Pacquiao shirt?
Yes, love Manny Pacquiao. So I love to see Manny Pacquiao fight. I root for him. Also, Eric Spoelstra, Miami Heat, half Filipino. So what happens is you get into this culture and that's your
Yeah.
culture, and you root for the guys. I'll tell you what, it would be very hard for me not to pull for Casey Schmidt, being having him a friend of the show. Even if he went to the rival Dodgers, I would want to see Casey have a good career.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to see him beat the Giants,
But
but
you want to see him have a good career, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about conflict. You're gonna love this story. So I am good friends with a gentleman by the name of Talem Wright. His son is Eric Wright, not the Eric Wright that played in the 80s with the Niners. The Eric Wright that played about 10 years ago with the Niners. He's drafted by the Browns.
Yeah.
My friend Talem Wright is a diehard Raiders fan. Diehard Raiders fan. When his son went to the Niners, I went to the game with him when the Niners were playing, and the Niners scored a touchdown, and everybody's going up crazy. He stayed seated. The only time he cheered was when his son did something. He could not root for the Niners, even when his son was playing on them. So there are conflicts galore when it comes to family, friends. Morkanda saying, he's Japanese, and he's a huge fan of Yamamoto and Otani, and now they play for a team he cannot stand. So yeah, there's conflict.
Hey, let's put this out there in the chat. We've got a few Dodger fans in the chat.
Yep.
Is there a Giants player, past or present, that you may not root for, especially when they're playing the Dodgers, but is a guy that you like and respect as a player and or person? I kind of like the whole package. I'll tell you the same question to the Giants fans out there. Any Dodgers that past or present that you say, wow, that's a class act. I don't want to see him succeed as a player because you want to, see the Dodgers lose, but you say, you know what, my kudos, hats off to a great player in person. That's one I have is Kershaw. Mookie Betts is 2. Sure. Freddie Freeman is 3.
Milton Bradley. Crap. Milton Bradley. Man, that guy was a mess.
Yeah, I would say for me on the Dodgers, it would be Kershaw and Betts and Freeman. And you might even catch me thinking a guy like trying to think of another player that's past.
I'm thinking past. You would think I would have rooted for Valenzuela because I'm Mexican, but man, I wanted the Giants to beat his ass so bad.
I know there was a certain Italian on the Dodgers that Dan absolutely adores.
Piazza.
Jeez.
Man, you didn't like Piazza?
I wasn't a big Piazza guy.
Man, for a guy that went in the 30th round,
try 62nd or something.
Oh,
it was in the 60s. It was in the 60s.
That's sickening.
That's crazy. All because of a favor. Wasn't it a favor? Someone called in a favor to Lasorda?
I didn't have too many. See, I've matured a lot. So when I was in my younger years, I didn't care for any of the Dodgers. I despised them all.
That's true.
And so I despised all of them. But now that I've actually outgrown some of that that stuff where you kind of look at life differently and you just see people for people instead of I kind of I'm trying to think of guys, like I was on a Facebook group the other day and they were ripping each other about players and I'm telling you, you get into these Facebook group and you start listening to guys talk about their sports team. They sound like a bunch of third and fourth. I made the comment. I said, I always come on here when I need a good chuckle to listen to guys that talk like they're still in the 4th grade. We're better than your team.
If you want a good chuckle, go into a group called This League, It's mainly a football chat, but sometimes basketball comes into play. I put people in check consistent in there. Today I had one of my better ones. A Rams fan kept going in there talking crap about the Niners, saying, "Oh, they're a choke artist, blah, blah, blah. The Rams won the most recent Super Bowl. They're a better organization." And I was like, I had enough. I said, "Look, dude," because he keeps harping that the Niners haven't won a Super Bowl in a long time. I told him, "Look, man, I go, Robert De Niro hasn't won an Oscar in a long time, but he sure as hell is a better actor than Joaquin Phoenix." Checkmate, done. Everybody laughed at him. He didn't respond at all. Just because you haven't done it recently. Hey, Earth, Wind, and Fire hasn't done anything in a long time. They're better known than Milli Vanilli. Come on now.
Yeah.
What are you doing here? There's just some organizations that are iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that stand the test of time. They're dynasties.
Right.
So I don't care. Yeah. We all want to win one. We should win one this year, but come on, get out of here with the Rams organization.
So
Let's
speaking,
not real quick. Let's not forget about Rick Monday. That guy is a hero.
oh yeah, Rick Monday picking up the flag, but he was in Oakland A.
Yeah.
He started out as the Kansas City
Right.
Athletics, I believe.
Kansas City.
God, I'm
Yeah.
still thinking of a Dodger that I did you say liked or respected? Because I respect a lot of them.
Respect and or like as an individual, like, hey, if you said, you know what, if that guy put on a Giants uniform, I'd really like that guy.
Well, I like Candy Maldonado and Dusty Baker and Reggie Smith because they came to the Giants.
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't stand Reggie Smith. Man, he was a good Giant.
Yeah,
He brought toughness to that team.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he had a way.
Wasn't he a switch hitter?
Yeah.
Yes, he was
had a
power.
way.
He had power from both sides.
You know what? He had an old school way because he played first base, and man, you didn't like it when he did on the Dodgers, but when he did on the Giants, you loved it.
I liked Reggie Smith.
When the pitcher would throw over, snap throw to first base, Reggie Smith would drive his knee into the guy's diving in shoulder. Am I right, Dan?
Yeah. Now
And
you
it
bring it
would
up.
cause like the other team to get pissed off at him. But
Reggie Smith, that's right. Reggie Smith. Didn't that Dodger team have Say, Garvey, Baker, and Reggie Smith? Didn't they have 4 guys hit 30 homers?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Say, Garvey, Reggie Smith, and
Reggie Smith and Dusty Baker.
And Dusty Baker, those 4, right?
Yep.
It was like the 76 season, somewhere
back in the day when players stayed with the same team for 6, 8, 10 years, you could identify with them. They had that same infield.
Oh yeah, the whole infield was Garvey, Lopes, Russell, and Say, and Ferguson and Yeager, 2 catchers, and they're pitching. Well, back in the day, so much was homegrown. The game has changed so much.
Oh,
I mean, the Giants used to be notorious for drafting and developing outfilders with power.
Mm-hmm.
And drafting Hispanic Latin American players. They were kind of the first organization to start it. They were getting Cepedas and
Gigantes
and Marichal.
Yeah, the Gigantes. They didn't have now. I mean, they still do that, but the last Giants outfielder that was drafted and developed and made an all-star team for the Giants was Chili Davis.
Crazy.
It's over 40 stinking years. I don't even think you can flip a coin and do that bad. Like, here, we'll just take, you know what? Well, whoever the dartboard lands on, we're drafting.
For real, for 40 years, you could do this and just point, take him, and you're going to get one right.
Come on, 40 years?
That's what I need, man.
40 years.
I mean, I'm getting like 40 years.
40.
I mean, we're talking 40 plus seasons. I don't even think expansion teams have that much problems.
That's just unbelievable.
Man.
I mean, who's the last expansion team?
Oh, who was it?
The Rockies?
No.
Was it the Diamondbacks and Rockies?
Oh, yeah.
Nationals? Well,
no,
not really.
was
No.
Expos.
That's right.
Used to be the Expos. The artist formerly known as the Expos.
Who was the last?
It might be the
Expansion
Diamondbacks.
team.
Marlins? Oh, maybe the Marlins.
Marlins came in what? 97?
The first year they got the World Series, wasn't it?
No, not the first.
They came in like 95.
93. They came in with
Arizona.
Did they come in with Colorado in 93?
Yes.
When did the Diamondbacks come in?
Around the
Diamondbacks
same
came in
time.
later. No,
They came in later because I
Diamondbacks
left
came in like 96, 97, 98.
later than that because I left Luke in 97 and they still hadn't had the team. They announced the team, but they weren't playing yet.
Well, because they won the World Series in 01.
Yeah.
Did they draft? No, they didn't. He had been playing for a while, Luis Gonzalez, right?
Yeah,
Who was the
98
man- who was-
D-backs
who was
and
the
Rays.
manager? Who was the manager of that?
Okay,
2000?
D-backs and Rays. How many guys have outfielders of the Rays developed that have been all-stars?
Rosarena?
Diamondbacks we know have.
Rosarena?
No,
Who
I
else?
think he came from St. Louis or something.
Did
No. Where did
No, I thought that was
Rosarena
it.
come from? Somebody
that
looked
was
at. I think I don't think he was an original Ray. Was he?
Kapler. Oh, Carl Crawford.
His son is one of the guys I want to trade for. He's a number 73 prospect by Baseball America. He's out of Arizona, and he's Carl Crawford's son, and he's like the 15th ranked prospect in the Phillies organization, just drafted out of high school a year or two ago. You know what? I'm telling you, get that kind of pedigree. Did anybody look up Randy Rosarena?
Yeah, Will
Will would know.
Yeah, he
Yeah, he
from-
did. He came from the Cardinals. That's what I thought.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Oh, Will Myers. I forgot about that. Yeah. He came from the Rays.
that's right. Not an all-star. Not quite. He may have made it once, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's an all-star.
But
Arizona. Whew.
Corbin Carroll's been drafted. We know that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's an all-star, and they've drafted others as well.
Does Corbin
JT
Carroll-
Upton. I forgot about JT Upton. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Upton brothers, BJ and JT.
Yep.
Is it
Matter of fact, the
JT?
Giants almost got.
Is it
got
JT or Upton or
Justin.
Yeah, it's
Upton,
Justin
right?
Upton, and then the other one's.
BJ
BJ?
was with
BJ.
the Rays.
He almost came to the Giants, but then he broke his hand or something. Remember?
How would you like to have his first name growing
Oh,
up?
come on! I'm not going to touch that one, Los.
I mean, just it's hilarious, man. I mean, Jesus. I wonder, Byron Jr., Barry Jr., Bobby Jr.
I think his actual name was something. I think BJ was
I
like.
mean, you're subject to.
Jeez.
I'm just saying, man. It's
Okay.
fun.
All right.
We digress. I digress.
Oh my goodness. Jim
Oh,
Thurkill.
Ben's over.
Any news on possible Giants moves? No,
Nope.
we're just sitting here waiting.
We're watching paint dry, buddy.
Yeah. What's that Otis Redding saying?
Sitting
What'd
by
he
the dock of the.
Yeah. Sitting here in the dock of the bay,
Yeah.
wasting time.
So
Pretty
let
much.
me ask this, Dan. You mentioned that towards the end of last year, you said, and I said it probably around the same time, if not before, that I was actually kind of pulling against the Giants because I wanted both of those guys out. Only one is out. One still remains. Probably the main one that is the reason the Giants are where they are. If this team goes into next year with this roster, other than Robert Rothberg, are people going to be like, yeah, go Giants, let's win as many as we can? Or is it going to be like, well, if they
Oh
win,
man, it'd be like
it's going to be hard.
it'd be really hard to even watch. I could tell you this as a sports fan, as a diehard Warriors fan, Giants fan, Niners, with things getting a little busy over the last couple weeks with a lot of football games, a lot of great NFL. I didn't catch every Warriors game recently, and I haven't done that in a long time. And part of the reason is that the interest starts to wane a little bit when they're not that they're not winning, but they're haven't even been enjoyable to watch. And this Giants team,
have you missed any 49er games?
No, not even a play.
Bingo.
This Giants team is about, as you like to say, is. I'd rather watch paint dry. At least I'm seeing some activity. I'm like seeing it go from wet to dry. Yeah, that's the right color. Yeah, that looks good. I seriously would rather watch for an hour, watch the paint dry. Yeah, I think I would get more enjoyment, and I'd probably get a little bit out of it by just sniffing it, if it too.
Last year, I can honestly say for the first time in 45 plus years watching the Giants, I did not watch one game from first pitch to last pitch. I would watch an inning or two, maybe 3 innings, and I would go on to something else. I did not watch a game, and that is very unlike me. Played baseball, loved the game of baseball, loved the Giants, but that's how much they frustrated me. I mean, just to watch how many guys they left at third base with nobody out, didn't even try to squeeze I really hope to God they make some moves soon for the sanity of the fan base. I mean, if they're just thinking the casual fans are going to go out there because they love the ballpark and the views and all the selfies they can take, and they're screwing the good baseball fans.
I think I read somewhere where Giants fans had over any other franchise in baseball bought more toilet paper because their stomachs were so upset.
With that, you want me to open up the phone lines then?
Yeah, let me go grab the phone here. We'll be right back.
All right, here you guys go. Open up the phone lines. Call Dan.
When I went to Coop, Eric, there was such a large section. They have sections for every team. There was a big display on the Giants in their history.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
There was a lot of people that were in that area.
I bet. Giants are squandering that right now, and that's what's pissing me off. Like, what are you going to do?
This guy's got to do something. It's a name brand.
But is he? That's the question. And if he does, what's he going to get? All right, guys, the phone number is 707-673-6060. Paul, Dan, Vint, or whatever else. What else can you do? Maybe give us your ideas of what the Giants should do. Everyone seems to have a different idea of what the Giants need to do, which is cool. Keeps the discussion going. At least we're talking about baseball. Man, makes it tough. It makes it tough to enjoy this when you have a front office and an ownership that just doesn't seem to care.
Makes it extremely challenging.
What do we got here?
What are we doing?
Whoa. Someone's calling the fire. What do we got here?
And this mic picks up everything. That's way in the distance, and you guys can hear that.
Yeah, I heard that perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim says, guys, serious question. If we go into the season lose 100 at their ages, do you think Kruk and Kipe will say they aren't going to call?
Great question. I think they might be disgusted with it as well. I think I brought up that question last year. Yeah. That's a great point. I think they would. They've had a good run. They need to be in the Hall of Fame. Together.
Okay, I got to figure this out. What's Justin talking about? What's this $421 million in profits?
I know they didn't make that much profit last year, did they?
It has to be over a certain period of time.
Yeah.
Because I know, what was it, not last year, before they made 75?
Oh, interesting. Necron is saying the Red Sox fans are mad at their ownership too.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, well, those are two iconic franchises. The
Yeah,
Red
it
Sox
is.
and the Giants, like
I know they were
they have
pissed
a
off at
very
Chaim.
deep fan base. Hell yeah, they're going to be pissed off.
Well, the funny thing is they fired their GM, Chaim Bloom.
There you go. They
But
held them
the
accountable.
Giants, yeah, exactly.
They fired him.
What? That's the revenue last year? Come on.
I'm not surprised.
What was the revenue?
421 million?
421 million.
How? If that's the case, then the Giants ain't doing shit. Because obviously, whatever they're doing is working, right? If you're bringing in 400,
Well,
how are they bringing in $421 million?
that sure as hell is doing better than 4%.
That hell yeah.
Remember?
That's more like 400%. What?
Yeah.
Let me check that.
What is that? Come on. You know what that is? Is that
And
Mission
you're
Rock?
still getting.
Is that Mission Rock? It's got to be including Mission Rock.
You know, when you Google richest baseball owners, there's different answers. There's some that have Greg Johnson number 1, and there's some that have him at number 4 or 5.
It's Charles Johnson is the guy.
Yeah, Greg is the pops. He doesn't do nothing with the team. It's
Charles Johnson. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, in 22 they made 74.9 million.
Senior says it's 382. So I don't know what they're combining.
I'm not sure if that. Let me see.
I wonder where he's getting.
I got to know where that 421. What is it? What is that included?
Well, they don't pay anything for the stadium. It's free and clear. Revenue. I don't know how much the Giants get from parking, whether they share that with the city or what the deal is. But concessions and tickets and suites and TV money, the TV revenue is.
In 22 season, they made the second largest profit in Major League Baseball. That was 74.9 million. I don't think they made 421 in 23.
It
where's
looks
that
like
number
Senior
come out?
copy and pasted something from somewhere.
Oh, wait a minute. Here's one. 2001 to 2022, they've made 421 million.
Yeah, this is what he's saying right here. In 2022, the revenue for the San Francisco Giants amounted to 421 million US dollars. This was an improvement of nearly 10% compared to the previous year.
No, that's not right. That's not right. I got it right here.
He copy and pasted it from somewhere.
It says it right here. Let me see if I can pull it up.
He said
here.
he Googled it. He said he Googled it. It just
Yeah, this is from in 2022. The revenue of the San Francisco Giants amounted to 421 million US dollars. This was an improvement. Wait a minute.
Hey, great point. Great point.
But it's 421 million overall since. I'll just pull this article up here. Hold on a second.
Cool. Yeah, I want to see what this is.
Because I'm STA.
Giants are the 49th most valuable team in the world, according to Forbes. It's the annual revenue, they're saying, not the seasonal, whatever that means. I don't know. I don't know if there's a difference.
Let's see if I could find this.
Yeah, Forbes would be the site that would know all these numbers. I would trust their link and their information.
Might help if I could spell revenue. Maybe if I have to spell out. I guess they don't understand what SF means.
Huh.
San Francisco
Frank Sinatra's initials backwards. Remember the Ned Coletti story with Lasorda?
All right, here it is. I got it.
Loved it.
Here we go. We'll pull this up. Can you guys hear Faith drinking water there?
Yeah, I hear it.
Gosh, Faith, give it a rest, man. Slopping that thing up. Have your manners. She. There you go, girl. Big drinker. Okay. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
All right. See, it says from 2001 to 2022 in million US dollars. So if we look at, no, I'm not paying
$150.
already have, what the heck? How come I saw it come up on my phone, but this thing isn't coming up the full chart that I saw? Show source. Where is that? In 2022, the revenue amounted to 420. That's revenue.
Mm-hmm.
But how much was their profit? That's revenue. You can have 421 million of revenue, but you can have 450 million of expenses and lose money.
Gotcha.
See, that's just revenue. Their profit in 22,
it wasn't at 75 million.
it was 75. They didn't make 421 million last year. I'll bet you the Dodgers revenue is closer to $1 billion.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, Senior said it. He did say revenue.
Yeah, this is revenue. So,
that's still a lot of damn revenue.
well, you figure all the season
Because you got to
tickets
factor in
and
the
merchandise.
payroll and all that. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one that we were just looking
I can see where he says that. But who knows?
Profit-wise, I don't know what their profits were last year, but, you know, what you want to look at is you want to look at revenue and payroll. You want to look at what percentage are teams spending of their revenue in payroll. So, for example, if the Giants took in 421 million, their payroll was that particular year, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Now the Dodgers revenue is higher than 421 and their payroll's higher, but percentage wise, you want to be pretty much equal percentage wise. So if the Dodgers are spending 52% of their revenue on payroll, then the Giants to keep up need to be spending 52%.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah.
Of their
You're right.
revenue
You're
on
right,
payroll.
Dan. You're right. I looked it up on Forbes. Actually, the Mariners are the most profitable team in baseball last year. The key word is operating income. So after you have payroll and expenses,
Right.
the Mariners were number one at 74, 9 million more than the Giants at 75.
How much were the Giants? You cut out there a little bit.
Checkmate.
Giants were what?
75 million. 75 million
Was that for 22 or 23?
for 22.
22.
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't been able to see the 23 numbers. Maybe they don't come out until like March because those came out last March of 23. I'll bet you those numbers haven't been dialed up yet.
I think Los died on us again.
And Faith's drinking water again. Golly, Faith.
You there, Los? There he is. He's back.
I'm hardwired.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back for the phone rings. I gotta fill up their water bowl.
Water dish. All right.
Yeah.
Gosh, man. Just pisses you off even more when you hear these numbers. Because you know they made some type of a profit last year.
It's very clear. If we have not proven it yet in this court of NorCal Sports Network court of law,
I know.
we've proven it with abundance amount of evidence that this ownership is in it for the buck and for the business.
Exactly.
If we haven't proven it enough over 6 or 7 months, I don't know what to tell you. They're not interested in winning.
No, they're not.
So as a fan, if you're going to games, He might be going to see the other team and the other team's star players and maybe catch a beautiful day at the ballpark and want to get a little sun. But until they make some changes, they don't seem to have any interest in winning. And it's really sad.
And that's why I picked for the Giants to leave this damn city.
And
Because the only way that happens is with
that's
new
why
owners.
we get on them so much.
Yep.
Not because we're that word I cannot stand that starts with an H. Because we're just calling it like it is.
Yeah.
Sorry to tell the truth. That's what we do. We observe and we make notes and we just call it as we see it.
I mean, and it's just what's so frustrating is every Giants fan can see that they needed to do something big this year. They had to keep relevant in the National League. They had to do something, and everything they tried to go after they seemed to strike out, whether it was Otani or Yamamoto.
And this, God, I hate to really call out a legend and an icon like Buster Posey, but if he kind of knows on the inside that this is happening and he signed up, he's interested in making money too.
Right.
He's a great Giant, he's a Hall of Famer, great guy of character and morals, but I don't know. Is he really in the room saying, hey guys, we need to get these players or we're
exactly. That's what I'm wondering.
If he's not, I understand he's an owner now. He's not a player. I understand that. Maybe because he's an owner, winning isn't that important to him. I don't know. I'm speculating here because I don't want to think that about him because he's so revered in this within Giants fans. But if he's really in it for the buck like the rest of the owners, that's disappointing.
It is. And Senior saying this.
I'm wrong. I hope to God I'm wrong. I hope he's in there fighting for the baseball side of it for the fans' sake, but I don't know.
We don't know. I mean,
I can't speak for him, and I know that's a little bit of a controversial comment, but.
And you know what's so disappointing too? Because we all thought with Buster coming in, we're like, oh yeah, there's going to be big changes. We're going to see our San Francisco Giants, starting to get into the game a little bit more.
When we heard that he was coming back, we were juiced.
Yes.
Remember? Like we thought, okay, this could be the sign of either
good things to come. You're right.
Yeah. He's on his way out, or maybe he stays for a year, grooms Buster, and he takes over. Now we're talking. But like I just said, this is Buster Posey, owner, just like Derek Jeter became like part owner. This is not Derek Jeter and Buster Posey, the players anymore. So maybe making some more money in their pocket is priority number one. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong on that.
Well, you got to sometimes the way to make money is to spend money.
Spend money.
I mean, I cannot gather new clients without marketing, and marketing costs money.
Money.
And you know what it's like, Los. There goes the phone line. I was just going to do a commercial for Flex Funding and
the timing of
Secure Money. All right, here we go. We got 415. All right, calling from the 415. Who's calling and what city you calling from?
This is Spencer again, Nevada.
All right,
Spencer
Stewart, our Giants guru, one of our gurus.
Yeah, I'm getting just so frustrated with this effing ownership.
I believe me, I hear you.
It's I was telling my dad this the last 2-3 years. I used to go to about 12 to 15 games a year. I go to maybe 3.
Yeah, that's about right. I went to 0 last year.
I mean, even if you get a ticket from a friend or something, you're spending $50 on parking and food for what? A mediocre product.
Yeah, they're boring and they don't, especially at home, they don't hit.
No, yeah, it's just so tiring. This team. I knew this was going to happen. You said it. We all said it. They needed to get rid of both of them.
Right.
Far symptom of the problem.
Yes.
Yeah. Farhan has got
nothing's gonna change.
right. The problem is you don't have any real baseball people in the ownership group except Posey right now, and he, I think Farhan is a guy that knows how to talk and
bullshit.
Just basically BS his way into that things are changing. We're this close and this and that. You know what? We're talking. To me, this has got to be if they fail this year with no on the field and with no real development of players, where we see player development movement, like there's hope for the following years. Got to move on. Just cut bait.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, what would you do right now if you were Farhan and you had a budget of
start signing people?
Yeah, but who would you sign? And what player?
Nothing.
What players would you sign if you had a, let's say you had enough money to get the players you wanted, and you can go over the luxury tax for this year even.
Probably Bellinger.
Okay. Anybody else?
I don't know about Snell.
Okay.
Yeah.
What other pitchers would you go after? Montgomery more than Snell?
Montgomery. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they just need to get off their ass and be productive. Start signing people, for God's sakes. Because this team is, I think this team right now is 74 wins.
Yeah, it's about right. That's kind of where I got him pegged, right in the mid 70s. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Spencer. Well, appreciate.
Thanks, Spencer.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Line is open.
Line's open.
707-673-6060. That's 707-673-6060.
What is the Giants payroll?
I have a couple of
right
shirts
now,
too. What's that?
What is the Giants payroll about right now?
It is at 1. I looked at it today. Let me pull it right here. I'll pull it up here on the screen for you. Right. Give me cuts, contract. Hold on here. Let's get out of stupid. I hate it when my screen goes to Yahoo.
Real quick, was the Giants before they signed Lee? Wasn't the Giants outfield at $50 million?
Yep.
So now we're at $57 million for this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on! $57 million in that outfield.
You guys see that? Can you guys see that?
Wasn't Jock part of that 57 million?
No. There's the Giants payroll right there. 12. 160.5, and the luxury tax is 189.6. That includes your 40-man roster and collective.
Gotcha.
You're in. Okay. The CBD tax 40-man, but we'll look and see what the actual rosters, who's getting what. Okay, so it's Haniger. This year's getting $20 million. He's the top guy. And then Conforto, 38. Thank you, Farhan.
Oh, seriously,
408 Morgan Hills. I'm trying to remember. Who was that? That was
that's Robert Boyd.
Robert Boyd. All right, here we go. Welcome, Robert Boyd. You're on the north.
Robert Board.
Robert Boyd.
Robert Board.
Board. You're chairman of the board, Robert.
Right. I would sign Cody Bellam. I would sign Marcus Stroman, Hoskins. I would trade Luciano and trade for Shane Bieber and Glasse from the Guardians. I'd rather call them the Indians, but
I got
they changed their name.
Yeah.
Let's see. Definitely don't sign Matt Chapman. Dude's a bum.
Okay.
He could go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I
No.
would trade Duvall for let's see here. I don't know what I would trade Duvall for. I would definitely trade him though for maybe a starting pitcher and a hitter.
Okay.
Maybe trade him to the Orioles for Jackson Holiday and some other of their top prospects.
I don't think you'll get that. I don't think the Orioles will do
have a
that.
stud closer.
Yeah, the Orioles.
Well, their closer is out for the year too.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to give up Jackson Holiday. I think you'd have to give up
lot.
to get Holiday. I think
Maybe.
to get Holiday, I would say it would take Duvall, and
Listenot or Harrison.
Harrison.
a Harrison and a and maybe
Luciano. You might pay all
maybe
three.
Luciano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys still got to trade Joey Bart too.
Yeah, I don't know what you can get for Bard at this point. I mean, the Giants have devalued him and they put themselves in a corner because they either have to carry him on the roster,
Yeah.
trade him, or cut him because he has no options. They can't send him down to Sacramento. So they backed themselves into a corner for sure. And
I
MF
would
says,
like to
what a
trade
mess.
for Rosarena, but you'd have to trade half the farm for that too.
Probably. Because he's got a lot of years
Just
to
want
control
this
it.
outfielding to be more athletic.
Yeah,
It's
outfield
too
needs to
slow
be.
and old.
Yeah, it has to be more athletic. I mean, I wonder what you would get out of Elliot Ramos if you actually played the guy and gave him a chance. You don't know. You might get, a bag of rocks, or you might get yourself a
25 homers, 30, maybe.
Yeah, you might
80 RBIs.
I think you'd have a pretty good shot of getting at least a 2020 guy.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I don't know. It's just free agency is boring right now. When it's Boris clients, they can just sit there till
They
the
will.
season starts.
yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
do
I
that.
just feel like Bob Melvin's has to be saying something like, "Are you going to do something for me? Because this roster sucks."
I hope
Well, yeah, who
I mean,
knows?
as a manager, you get paid all this money. You gotta say something. Like, I believe that you guys are right though. Like, if Farhan doesn't do nothing, he has to go.
But I don't think the Giants will do it this year. I think
don't
they'd
think
wait one more year. I think you're stuck with Farhan for at least 2 more years.
Oh my God, I want to
Yeah.
cry.
The only way that Farhan is gone, I think, after this year is if they fall on their faces and he signs nobody other than Lee.
Yeah,
Then it's like if he misses out on everything that is has,
well, next year's free agency class is better than this year's, right?
I think so, yeah. In fact, we'll take a look at it here. We'll pull that up and see what it looks like. Giants
I
fans,
know Juan Soto, but
I think
Giants.
Giants, Giants fans need to start looking to 2030 and see what the free agency class is there.
Oh my God, if I have to wait 2030, the Sharks will have won a Stanley Cup by then for me. Shit. The Sharks will be relevant by 2030.
Yeah, that
have
might
a
be a
better
good
chance
question. Who has
The
a better?
Chicago Bulls winning the championship before Jordan dies.
Who wins the next Bay Area championship? If you take the 49ers out of it, is it the Giants, Sharks, or Warriors?
The Sharks, because Steph Curry will be gone by then.
Yeah,
The last Stanley Cup the Sharks went to was in 2016. Really hasn't been that long. Now they're just,
wow.
they're getting younger.
2016 was the last time they went to the
Sharks have
Cup.
get rid of a bunch of contracts too. So
Shoot, I thought the Sharks went to the Cup in like 18. They didn't go.
no, it was
Is
2016.
it 16? It's been that long.
Their last playoff run was 2019, where they went to the conference finals
Yeah.
and lost. So they lost to the defending champion Blues that year.
Oh wow, that's
I
right.
watch a lot of hockey. I watch a lot of basketball. I watch a lot of Giants. But
That Blues story was wild. They were like last in the conference.
last place in 2019 and won it the same year. I couldn't believe that.
Well, yeah, they were in last place in the conference. They fired their coach, right? And then all of a sudden,
Yeah, signed another coach and then won it all.
yeah,
I
that
couldn't believe
seemed to happen in baseball too, with a team called the Florida Marlins. They fired their coach, their manager.
Yep.
They brought
Yeah.
in old guy.
Jim Leland.
No, it wasn't Leland. Was it someone
Oh,
else?
no, I know who you're
Jack
talking about.
McKinnon?
It was
Jack
Jack.
McKinnon.
Yeah, Jack McKinnon. Yeah,
He
brought
fell
in
asleep in the
McKinnon.
dugout.
Wins the World
Yeah.
Series.
Yeah.
Yet, yeah. What do the Giants do?
I thought
Add
Leland was
AJ
the first
Pollock.
guy to win the World World Series for him.
Who?
I thought Leyland won their first World
Oh,
Series.
I think they did it back in
Leland,
2000 or
Their first World
97.
Series was-
97.
was their first
97.
World Series.
Yeah,
I
97
was
they won.
with young Miguel Cabrera, skinny Miggy.
Yeah.
He got super heavy.
Exactly.
He went to
when he
Detroit
played in the
and
outfield, I
started-
think maybe he played in the outfield.
Yeah. I don't know if it was, I don't know. Did Miggy eat a lot of pizza or was he doing roids? That's
I don't
not.
know. He just got super fat because Bonds was never fat.
Yeah.
Not like that. He was eating the deep dish for sure.
No. So I don't know. I think a lot of those guys juiced. I really do.
There's Hall of Famers that are juiced.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what?
I could start a real controversy on the NorCal Sports Network, and I could show you. In fact, I had it on my phone. I had a slimmed down LeBron James looking like Barry Bonds, and then I had a later LeBron James that looks like Mr. Universe.
What are you trying to say, Dan?
I don't know. They have Olympic testing now in the NBA, don't they? Like Major League Baseball.
You think if they did testing, you think they would out LeBron James? If
Hell
no. No way.
No way.
No, I
No
agree
way.
they wouldn't.
No way.
I mean, Barry really didn't like fail a drug test. Everyone just assumed, but
Yeah, because he was connected with Balco.
Barry. Yeah.
He's connected with Balco.
Yeah,
I
his
do
buddy
believe.
didn't
I
have
do
it.
believe LeBron's been on the juice. La juice. Yeah,
I took steroids too, but it wasn't this. I was already a power hitter. I didn't need it, but I took it because I had a shoulder and elbow injury.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I took some steroids just a couple months ago after my back surgery.
Oh, yeah. I understand that.
That's why you have
Understand
that. picture on the beach.
Didn't help me though.
Yeah. You know what's worse is just me and my brother and my stepdad are the only Giants fans. And my real dad is a Dodger fan, so I have to hear that shit.
Oh
And
man.
my uncles and all my uncles are Dodger fans.
Oh man. I don't know.
My dad did not want Shohei Otani.
Are you pretty close with
He
your
got
Are you pretty
overpaid.
close with your dad or?
Yeah, I'm pretty close with him. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say you could trade him if he's a big Dodger fan. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Man,
What
what is Dan doing, man?
Trade him. Good fucking Lord. My bad. I shouldn't swear.
Oh
On YouTube.
gosh,
Oh my God, trade him, man.
Dad,
I
you've been.
mean, he doesn't like when I bring up their World Series has an asterisk in 2020.
Of course it does. Bring him on the show.
No, even my uncle said that's a World Series. No, that wasn't 162 like the Giants. In those 3 years we won it, we had to play all 162.
Just next time he brings it up and he says it was real, just give him a piece of cardboard and says, "What's this for?" Says,
Right?
just say,
They're all Laker.
just say this guy was at the
there's only
game.
2 Laker fans. My one uncle's a Warriors fan.
Hey,
Warriors
Lakers
fan
man,
since the 70s.
LA got the shaft in 2020. They won it in the bubble in basketball, no
That's
parade,
another asterisk.
and the Dodgers. I knew the Dodgers were going to win it that year. It just was so fitting. I mean, you knew that they were going to
The
win.
Dodgers really should have won it the year the Astros cheated, or the Red Sox cheated. Sorry,
Wow,
the Red
it's
Sox cheated. that year.
17 and 18, both they
Oh
supposedly.
yeah, they both cheated. Yeah.
So yeah. Well, hey man, great to talk with you, Robert.
You too.
Always love having you call in.
Yep.
We're working on these phone lines in 24. We're going to try and get it hooked up so that it can,
Yeah.
For sure.
so you can talk
Yeah,
with.
I gotta go to a
Eric
funeral
as
that
well.
Friday too. So
Oh, your sister's funeral.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez, man. Sorry about that. That's
Thanks.
the hardest
Yeah.
part is the hard part is all of it, but then
Yeah.
you're starting to getting over the passing a
still
little bit,
sucks.
then you got to go through the funeral and it starts all over again,
Yep.
all the emotions.
Starts all the emotions.
Yeah.
I have to be there for my mom anyway. So
Yeah. Well, hey, hang in there and
thanks, man.
hopefully we'll catch you later this week. If not, man, thoughts with
Well,
you.
yeah, I'm always on. I take my dog for a walk before you guys come on so I can watch.
What
Nice.
what
That's
kind of dog
dedication.
you got?
I have a husky.
Oh, yeah.
He's almost 3 years old.
Huskies are great dogs. Yeah.
Oh my God, he's full of energy, bro.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say they like to dig.
Yeah.
They like to dig.
Yeah. They like to dig, Eric says. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Will Martinez says he traded a girlfriend before because she was a Dodger fan.
Love
True
that.
story.
Love
There
that.
you go.
My last girlfriend was a Padres fan, and I could deal with that.
If I
deal with
only
that.
would have listened to that advice, Will taken that advice earlier. My first wife was a Dodger fan.
Ooh.
I mean, that doesn't break the ice. I had my best friend and she's a girl, and she's a Dodger fan, but she's realistic.
Oh man, yeah, no, it's all cool. Hey, listen, great to hear from you, Robert, and give us a call back later this week. We'll be on, should be on the next couple nights as well.
Sweet.
All right,
Thank you guys. You guys have a good night.
you too, Robert. All right, thanks. Bye bye.
Bye.
Later,
Get
Robert.
out of here.
What are we laughing at? What?
Get out of here.
Oh, Eric, classic.
What was that? What did I miss?
Highlight of the show.
Which one was it? A comment?
Yeah,
No, it
it was
was
a
a gesture.
It was the gesture from the
Who?
comment.
Who?
This is what more.
Yeah, there he would.
You could guess what my response was.
Oh, the gesture. Did you flip him off?
Damn well I did.
Oh, who'd you flip off?
Marquetna.
Hey, Marquetna is one of our guys.
Yeah, but don't be calling me Gabe Kepler with a hat on.
You can't do that to our guys, man.
Here it comes. I already know what's happening. I
Come
know
on, man.
what's coming.
Is that
I
a
know
major
it's coming.
misconduct, or is that just a high stick?
I like that. A 2-minute.
It's a high sticker. There we go. You can't do that to Marquetna. Come on. Should I answer the call or bring Eric back in? We'll bring him back in for the call.
I'll bring Eric
Another
back.
caller from the 925 area code. Who's calling?
Marquetna.
Chris again.
Oh,
I
good.
just wanted to say I like your list, but I got a couple of additions for you.
Oh, you got a couple additions for my
Yeah,
free agent
for your
list? Okay, what do you got, Chris?
I got Tommy Pham in left field.
Okay.
I like the guy. He's a hard-nosed player. He'll go through a wall for you. He can do it all. And I wanted him last year. Nobody talks about him, but he's a player that just will do whatever it takes to win. He's a winner. Okay, and the next one is get rid of both of those Conforto
And
Haniger. Trade him for Burns with paying some of his salary, and forget about that.
But
third
why
baseman.
would Milwaukee want that?
They're both good hitters, and in those ballparks, they would hit home runs. They would hit home runs in that ballpark. And I think if you paid some of Conforto's salary,
You'd have to pay.
they might
10
trade.
of his 18. You have to pay a half of each.
I don't know. It's just so frustrating that they want to get Bellinger.
They'd want a prospect in that too, I think.
Do it. Do it.
What happens if it was?
give him a prospect.
What
If
happens
you
if,
have to give him a prospect, I think
what happens if they said
not
they want Harrison in the deal?
do it.
Wisenhunt or
Burns-
Luciano.
Burns would bring, right behind Webb, and that would solidify you. But keeping those two guys on the team and not trading them away for, get rid of them, and don't get that third baseman. Put Casey Smith over there.
There we go.
Luciano, I like the rest of your lineup. But I like Tommy Pham a lot, and I think getting rid of Haniger and Conforto, even if you have to trade for somebody else besides, a good player, get a good player or a prospect, and just get rid of them because they are not doing a darn thing for the Giants. They haven't. Okay, that's my problem. Okay.
All right.
Thanks a
Hey,
lot for listening.
thanks, Chris. Thanks for calling.
Bye.
All right, there we go. Lines open up again. 707-673-6060. That's 707-673-6060.
You know, when you put up that Giants payroll, what was so sad was the top 4 players' salaries. A bunch of 2s and 1.5 star are the 4 top. Look at the 4 top most expensive players. That is
Jagger, Conforto, Stripling, DeScofani. You got a 2.5er and a 2.5er and a 2.5er and a 1.
I swear there is no organization right now, if we pulled up their salaries, that has the top 4 being like some of their worst players. Nobody.
Chico, could this be
Chico?
Kyle?
3-0.
Yeah, that's Kyle.
Is it Kyle?
Yeah, the traitor.
Is this Kyle?
Yep, that's the traitor.
I hear that voice. That's Kyle the traitor. Kyle the traitor going on a trivia show, tossing trivia around on other channels.
I didn't lose my vision doing all those trades, Dan.
Ooh. Kyle taking a shot again at me.
Ooh.
How's your
Wow.
eye?
Hey, it's good, but did you call in to sing I Am the Champion? No time for losing.
Yeah, there you go.
Working
Come
in
on.
the bathroom, my hands are destroyed.
Come on, sing to me I'm the champion.
We are the champions. No time for losers. Eric's gonna ban me. Well, lose laughs again. Okay, I don't know. I'm done.
What?
I don't know. There it is.
Don't
Hey,
give
Eric,
up your day
did
job,
you
bro.
did you get my X, my Twitter or whatever? I sent you like hours ago.
Eric, did you get his Twitter? His direct message or did you send it
No,
directly?
not direct message.
Not a direct message, a message on your Twitter feed
Did he?
from Kyle.
Oh my
Man,
God!
I got a
Aaron
bunch
Rodgers
from
for once. Thank
from
the Lord.
MH. When did he send it?
Anyways, how's your Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, 49ers
Yep.
feeling? We're pretty set up there.
Yeah.
Hey, Los, if you were to deal Duval, what would you want back in return?
An outfielder
An outfielder
or a starting pitcher.
or a starting pitcher.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Normally I'm in the video. I like that. This
Yeah.
is different. Okay.
Yeah, the calls are a little different, but
Yeah, this is the first time I've done this.
well, awesome, man.
Okay.
So thanks for calling, Kyle. Always,
Yeah, man.
always good to we'll have to have you on when you got some more trivia.
I have plenty.
You got- Okay.
So, all right, guys. Merry Christmas. Love the show. Been grinding in my house for hours on end. It's been such a. You guys' show's cool. That's all I can say. It just gets me through my nights and working on my house. And
Awesome.
it's funny. It's dumb. It's awesome. It's everything. It's like one big ball of wax, dude. I love it. Dude.
Yeah.
You guys are cool.
Thanks, Kyle. Really
Thanks,
appreciate
Kyle.
it. We'll have to do a little get together, Bay Area get together here, and maybe when the season opens up, I'll fly up to Los and I'll catch a flight with our wives, and we'll head up to the Bay, and we'll
Kyle
have
will be
a.
back for the Super Bowl weekend.
I can't believe that baseball's like, what is it, 40 days around the corner?
Yep,
Yeah,
40,
it's like
45 days. Pitchers
45.
catchers report.
Month and a
Hey,
half.
Brock
Crazy.
Purdy, Queen Creek, that's south of you, right?
It's
That's
east.
me. That's
East
where I
of
live.
me. It's over by right over by Los.
No, that is where I live. Queen
Los
Creek.
lives in
buddy.
Los lives in Queen Creek. Yeah,
Oh,
Queen
okay.
Creek.
Yeah, I have a friend who lives in Gilbert and Mesa. So.
yeah.
right next to it.
Doesn't Brock's dad? Don't they have a pool business or a spa business or something?
Yeah, I thought it was
I'm gonna go
I think
visit him
spa,
soon.
but that kind of ties in with pool. But yeah, I think mainly spa.
Yeah. Cool. All right, man. Good. Great to hear from you, Kyle. Happy New Year.
All right, talk to you guys later.
Yeah, bye. The great Kyle
Later,
McKiernan,
Kyle
OG.
McKiernan.
an OG from the Krug Show, and definitely an OG of the NorCal Sports Network.
Yep.
The fastest growing network in all of
YouTube
network. In all of networks. Is there a network that is growing as fast as this? Man, we're stretching out all over the world with fiber optics.
With technology and stuff.
You've seen those Sprint commercials, the old ones with all the wires and stuff? Our network is expanding. It's just all over the place. We'll wake up tomorrow and we'll have 13 million instead of 1,300 subscribers.
Oh, wow. Did Kruko take shots at the Giants? I didn't hear that.
No, where?
Will Martinez, maybe he did on his radio show. Ooh, if that's the case, then there's no bigger homer than Mike Kruko.
Will, what's this all about? Tell us.
I got to hear
what's the shots
Gosh,
about?
dang it. I wish we could play it.
Oh, that
Call
is
in,
rock
Will.
bottom, man.
Call in and narrate it. 707-673-6060. Jim Everett.
Like I said, if those are your 4 best, highest paid players, that says it all.
It does.
That right there says it all.
What do you mean Jim Everett, the great, says Larry always hates on Dan? No, he doesn't hate on me. That's all fun.
It's all fun and games.
Yeah, Larry.
You know, the Purdy family business is about 15 minutes from my house. I might have to go visit them and see if they want to sponsor the NorCal Sports Network. That would be cool. Purdy Pool.
I don't think it'd be worth their while though, because
I'll sell it.
How are you going to sell it? We got 3 people in Arizona.
Well, here's a little bit of advice. If I sell him sponsoring it, we're going to have to talk about the 49ers just a little bit more. His son plays for the 49ers.
I think what he's saying is you're not going to get no play in Arizona.
Yeah, when I tell him it's kind of a Giants, it's going to make the sale a little bit harder. So make it a little bit easier for me. I'll get him.
Hey, do we have enough subscribers? Do we have enough people to all pitch in and we'll just, instead of 34 owners, we'll have 1,300 and something owners to buy the Giants?
Oh, man.
Come on.
Good idea.
And then Los and I'll run it. He'll be our insurance guy. Business insurance. I sell insurance too, but not business insurance. You know,
there'd be some players off this team if I get in charge.
You know, when we sell insurance, I do sell some, life insurance to businesses. It's called Key Man Insurance. You know what Key Man Insurance is, guys?
Negative.
Mm-mm.
Key Man Insurance is something the Giants don't have. They don't have a need for. But Key Man is you put insurance on the key man in the organization if he passes, that the organization doesn't fail. In our organization, if key man passes, it might actually help the Giants. No, Key Man Insurance is, in businesses that are run, a lot of times they're smaller businesses, 2-3 owners or something like that. You put a insurance on one so that the whole thing doesn't just collapse because that person kept the business going, and then that way there's money to keep the business afloat and all that. But anyway, the Giants, is there a way, how would fans, like, don't the Packers, isn't that owned by just a bunch of people, right?
There are a lot of minority owners of the Packers, I believe. Yes.
But what is this thing? Oh, this is that gorilla thing where you put your phone on and then you walk around. This is what there's how it works. I used to put my phone in here and I'd hold on to this and interview the players.
Oh, yeah. It keeps it steady, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
If you owned or were the GM of the Giants, who are the first 3 players you're cutting or trading off this roster? 3.
Can we look a little closer at the top 4 on here?
You know,
if I'm running this club, Well,
Yeah.
first of all, I'm moving on from, DeSclafani would be probably the
Number
first
one.
guy.
Yes.
Yeah, DeSclafani would be number one. Conforto might be able to give you some production. He's really not a bad player. He just needs. I just think the park's wrong for him. I think it's a terrible park for him to play in.
That's what I'm saying.
And I don't know. I still like my idea of changing the fence line, the dimensions.
Bringing
I
in
really
the
do.
dimensions in the right
Heck
center.
yeah. Make the park play well for lefties. Make it more exciting. Let's see some more long balls. How many times have the Giants played in 1-0, 2-1 games at Oracle? How many? You know what? I'm going to pull that up. That's
The sad part about it is they played a bunch of them in 2010. And they called it torture, and people loved it because they won.
because they had pitching
Because they had pitching that kept them
Bingo.
in it.
and defense.
Bingo.
Yep.
Yeah, instead of losing 7-2, they won 2-1.
Except what do the Giants got now? None of the above.
No speed, no pitching,
No defense.
power,
No defense.
nada.
Nothing. But the most expensive outfield.
That they do.
The most expensive outfield, and it got more expensive, as you said. Where is that? I want to find something. I don't know if it will have it here.
You're looking at how many close games they had?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, wow. So Will says, Kruko said everybody in the front office might be football fans because they haven't got anything done.
He's worried about.
Is he meaning that they're too busy watching football that they can't do anything?
I guess.
Trying to read between the lines on that one.
Take a look at this schedule last
I
year.
wonder if it's fantasy football. I wonder if that's what he's trying to allude to.
Can you see this schedule here?
Yep.
Okay. All these first 6 games were on the road, so I'm more concerned with home games. See, they got 12 runs in Chicago, then they got 16 runs in Chicago, 7 runs in New York. They come home, they got 1 run. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
See the yellow line highlighted?
Yep.
That's the second game. They got 5, 3, 1, 5, 5, 5. Oh no! Wait. Take out the second 5. Take out the second 5. That's on the road.
Yep.
Then they come back. You see them scoring some runs. Then they come back home.
4,
They get 4, 0,
7,
5, 4, 5, 7, 0. On the road in Mexico, they lose 16-11. Let's see. Come back home. 6, 4, 3, 1, 4, 6, 6.
That was early in the season, though, when they were actually hitting. If you go past July, like those numbers.
You get into July. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, that's when at home. Then it gets a lot of just like their stars.
5, 0,
ratings,
2, 2, 5, 1. Then they back on the road.
Yeah.
Even on the road, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2. Then 8, 2, 3, 4, 3. Yeah, just a bit. Screw it. I don't want screw it all. Boring team. Really boring. Not much power, no speed, and terrible defense.
Yep. And pitching
and
is
middle of the road pitching.
Yeah.
Pretty hard combination to choose.
So what has the Giants done to do anything about that? Nothing.
Well,
Maybe a little bit of speed with Lee.
little bit of hitting, they hope, and defense with Lee.
They need way more than him.
I know.
Oh, yeah, it's. I think they just completely decided. You know what, take a look at this. All right, think about this, guys. Boris's only client to sign so far is Lee, right?
Yep.
Why?
Because they grossly overpaid for him.
There you go.
Yes.
And he knew it. He says, like,
had
sign it, hurry before they change their mind.
Yep.
Hurry up. We'll agree. We agree. We'll be there in San Francisco. We'll get our physical done. We're ready to go. We're ready to get that signed before you guys drop the order in half.
That sucks. If he's their only signing, like all the pressure is going to be on him.
I know.
He got overpaid, and he's their only signing. If they had signed or traded for about 4 players, then he could have, been in that group. But he's going to be the only guy. Everybody's going to be talking to him in Korean, like, why aren't you doing it? Or you're overpaid, blah, 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 blah.
Here's what I'm doing.
You're setting it up for failure.
If I'm the general manager,
yeah, big time, Eric.
Hey,
big time.
You guys all worked with me on. You guys both made some trades with me.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I learned my lesson though. I'll tell you. One thing about me, I won't make the same mistake twice. But go ahead.
So, if I'm Farhan, is anybody going to trade with me next year if we play? I hope
Probably
so.
not. Dude. No one's. You have. Yeah.
How would Dan do in a league? There's no trades. How would Dan actually do with the team he drafted from beginning to end and had to stay with only free agent pickup? Because there are some leagues that there are no trades. Ooh,
what was my draft? I don't remember my draft. I do.
I bet you don't.
I remember drafting Josh Allen.
You actually had a pretty good draft.
I had Goff and Allen. Yeah. I had Mostert.
Didn't you have Jonathan Taylor?
I had Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, shit, you had Mostert?
Yeah.
Damn, it's a lot of touchdowns.
I had Mostert and Jonathan Taylor. I had Ayuk. I don't remember who
you could have done something if you had not traded anybody. You would have definitely still made the playoffs with what you said.
You know
already.
what, Dan? I will put a poll in the chat to see who would be interested in fantasy baseball.
Fantasy baseball. Los is a king of fantasy baseball.
What do you think?
I know Will B wants to play. I heard him on your show the other night. I caught it. I caught your show.
He wants to do basketball bad. Yeah.
Oh, I could do basketball too.
I
can't do hockey though. Sorry, Robert Boyd. Can't do fantasy hockey. I know. God, I used to watch hockey too more than I do now. I'll watch them if they make the playoffs.
Will says I sent him a player that was hurt and never disclosed it. Hey, where do you guys see?
Oh.
Where do you guys see my waiver pickups tonight in fantasy football?
Gilbert Gamboa is their fantasy wrestling. Hey, it's funny you say that, Gilbert. Me and 3 friends who are all wrestling fans. We actually did a draft 2 years ago. Like you get the first pick,
still there.
You get any wrestler of all time, and we did it in that same format where you got to go backwards after the second round. Man, it was pretty fun. Actually, Eric, I'm down for that.
Look at that! Wow, it's still on my phone. I opened up fantasy football and it's still there. Look at that dog. I told Buster. I told him we won, and I said, "You know what, Buster? You get half the share or better because." It was all Buster. Buster boy. Yep. I got some waiver claims coming tonight, even though the season's over.
All right, I got the poll out there. Let's see how many people are interested.
Hey, let me just warn you. If you have
Will, it wasn't a keeper league, unfortunately.
If you never played fantasy baseball before, it is not like football. You have to every single day change your lineup around pitchers.
Senior said you can kind of adjust it to where you don't have to do it every day.
Oof.
I don't know.
Good luck. Because sometimes last minute a pitcher will, not make his turn, and you got to go in there and make the changes. You got to stay on top of that, and it's a long.
And here's the thing: who the hell's going to be the commissioner when no one's ever done this?
Oh, I'm not. It's hard enough to manage a team.
Oh,
But what I
man.
do love about it is true rotisserie, like true stats. Like you could be a great team in the regular season and then not show up in the playoffs when
What do you
players
think,
don't
Dan?
show.
You want to do a fantasy football or fantasy baseball?
I love rotisserie.
I'm burnt, man.
Oh,
I'm
Bob,
burnt.
you watch. You say that now. You say
I
that
don't think
now.
I have it in me to do it every day. I put too much into fantasy. I did fantasy football every day. I read, I studied, I looked. Man, I was the guy drafting, picking up Nick Mullins a week too early on waiver wires because I was reading what the Vikings were going to do. That guy played 2 games for me and got me 20 plus points each week. So,
Dan, you come over to my house when I do the fantasy baseball draft. You can kind of see how it plays
Look
out.
at Will B. Exactly.
burnt my ass.
Burn my ass, Dan. Wait till you feel the void of no fantasy. You know
Right.
you'll do it, Dan. You know you'll do it.
Baseball?
Yeah, you'll do it.
I don't know, man.
He's not ready for that.
I don't know. Every day, I got to work this year,
I don't
man.
know if we have to do it every day. That's the thing. Hey,
That's what I'm talking about.
hey, Senior, do you have to do it every single day? Wait, he says, I've done offense only fantasy baseball. Home runs, RBIs, runs.
No. Well, I mean, every league's different, but my league, there's like 12 categories, 6 for hitting and 6 for pitching. Everything from strikeouts to strikeouts per 9.
Oh, jeez.
Wins, saves, ERA, complete game. Oh, no, not complete games. Oh, quality start, QS. Got to go 6 innings. Ooh, do you know how many times you'd have a guy go,
5 2/3.
especially in today's baseball, 5 2/3. Oh my God, you're taking him out. That's incomplete. That's a quality start. It's very stressful.
Yeah, okay, here's a
lot of
question.
work.
In the fantasy baseball world, what giant would you pick?
Logan Webb.
Only 2, right? Logan Webb and
Webb and
Duvall, probably. Who else?
Wilmer Flores was picked up in our league late, and he was raking, and he pissed me off because the guy that was chasing me all year long started catching up because Wilmer Flores was doing things, and he'd make fun of me. He's like, "Don't you have a show about that you talk baseball?" I go, "Yeah, shut up. I'm not talking about your guy."
He was calling you out. No,
he was calling me out. He's
So
like,
was he the only giant that was worth
Oh.
anything as far as a position player?
Tyro Estrada was drafted about the 14th round. He's actually not a bad player for
14th.
fantasy.
14th
Actually,
round.
Before he got hurt, he's actually a decent player. He gives
So
you,
do you pick a
he gives you
26
steals.
man?
He gives
Is
you
it
some pop, especially on the road.
How many guys do you pick?
26 man? Or is it-
How many is it? It's about 18. 18. I think you
18, no?
got about 6 or 7 guys on your bench. Yeah, you have a total of 10 pitchers, 3 starting pitchers, 3 relief pitchers, and then 3 that are just called P pitchers, so they can go either way. It's challenging, man. You got to have balance. If you have too much power,
who's the number 1 player in fantasy? I bet you Corbin Carroll's
Ronald
top 5.
Acuna. Ronald Acuna.
Okay, Ron Acuna.
Easy. Everybody wanted him.
Did you have him?
No, I picked 3rd. I picked 3rd last year, and I took Julio, and I was this close to trading him because he got off to a really slow start. And for once, I had patience and stuck with him, and he rewarded me. But I had so you have to have balance. Like I took a 3rd pick in the 1st round. I took Rodriguez. My 2nd round pick, I took Scherzer. I wanted Garrett Cole. I wanted Garrett Cole, and he got taken right in front of me. 3rd round, I took Matt Olson. 4th round, I took Corbin Carroll. Now you know why I finished in 1st.
Wow.
Those guys.
Wow,
just
Matt
monsters all
Olson,
year.
Corbin
I got traded
Carroll. Who was your 2nd round pick?
too.
Who was your
I
2nd round
love
pick?
Corbin Carroll.
Who was your second?
Max Scherzer.
Scherzer.
I had to get you have to get a frontline pitcher within the first 3 or 4 rounds, because once rounds 5 comes, you're picking from middle of the order. You got to get
I got a trade for you that might be good for you.
I don't trade with you, but go ahead.
How about Josh Allen, Diggs, and Charbonnet for Tyreek Hill, Justin Fields, and Keaton Mitchell?
Yeah, we did that already.
Yeah. Would you do that again?
You know, at the time, my thinking was I love quarterback to receiver combos.
Yeah.
So I thought I was getting a major. This was my way of thinking when I accepted that deal. I was getting a major upgrade from Josh Allen to Justin Fields, and I was getting a slight decline from Tyreek Hill, who was a monster, to Diggs. Diggs, after I got him, was nothing, zero. If he had done what he was supposed to do, be a top 5 wide receiver, that deal would have been a lot more even. But
yeah, he did terrible.
that was my thinking, and the other three guys were a wash. In other words, Josh Allen to me was a 9. Justin Fields was a 4. Very inconsistent.
I was so glad you took that deal because
you did it because of week 13 and the bye weeks.
Well, that was one of the bigger reasons, because for some reason I was barely going to make the playoffs, it looked like. And then the other reason was the week before they fired the offensive coordinator. What's his name? The former quarterback of the Niners.
Oh, yeah. What's his name?
Why do I always forget his name?
Dorsey?
Yeah, Ken Dorsey. The guy from Morinda, the kid from Morinda, Ken Dorsey. They fired him, and their offense just completely changed. And so I was like, geez, I got to
it changed for 2 weeks. James Cook, who I have in a couple of leagues, had a great game against Dallas. Great game. They finally went to him. And then I was on a bye, so I didn't need him.
Yeah. So,
and then the next week they went away from him, and he went back to not catching the ball. Anything weird.
Did you lose your last 7 games, 6-7 games?
Something like that.
Dang, that's you outdid Bora.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah, Bora started off slow. I finished slow.
Eric finished 7th. Next year, I'm thinking maybe we should, to make the league a little bit more, because a lot of people stopped competing that were in the consolation bracket. They didn't even change. They just
left it. Yeah.
I think we got to get I got to get a prize for 7th place next year.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not a huge fan of the 2 quarterback fantasy. I wasn't.
That's the key. I'm not going.
You know what? You know why? Because I didn't like that people just stacked like 6 quarterbacks on their roster. So when you get a guy injured and you go to the waiver wire, there's nobody there.
Yeah,
that sucks.
I didn't do that until the very, very end.
I looked at people's rosters like, you got 5 quarterbacks on your roster. You need 3.
I think the key to winning in this type of league is
the most.
I think the key to winning in a 2 quarterback super flex league is draft, and a PPR. Wide receivers are the
wide receivers, not quarterbacks.
That's what I did. I drafted Tyreek Hill first when people were taking quarterbacks. He was a monster.
Yeah,
fantasy player league. That's who I drafted. I didn't trade for him. I drafted him.
After I saw what was going on with Heroku, when he had Chase and he had Keenan Allen, and he had somebody else great. He had 3 great receivers. Oh, AJ Brown. I was like, dang, that's where I started going to work.
Wide receivers, when they had big games, were putting up big points for you. Big points for you.
Yeah. So. I mean, heck, more for that Eric had a 45-point night in the last game. He had 33 or something.
Yeah.
Eric got screwed once Burrow got hurt. Burrow's a beast.
Actually, it's Burrow in the first 3-4 weeks is what screwed me. Because when I picked up Brownie did okay.
he was injured. He was not healthy.
Yeah, Burrow's
Browning screwed me in my other league, throwing 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
I've never seen fantasy football rely on backup quarterbacks as much as this year. Never.
Oh,
Nick Mullins, Joe Flacco, Browning.
Oh yeah.
Jacoby Brissett. I mean,
Trevor
There were a lot of
Simeon,
stars.
the Jets were going through
Tommy
quarterback.
DeVito.
Yeah. I mean,
I definitely
You
had
know,
it right on week 17, the championship. I was like, shoot, they're gonna bench Mullins, and I picked up Hall, and because Kyler Murray was sick during the week, and I'm like, but if Kyler, I liked the matchup against the Eagles because I thought the Eagles can be passed on, and Kyler can also get some running yards, and I'm like, but I got to go with Hall. Then I picked up some other backup quarterbacks because I thought I can't count on Hall because if he doesn't have a good half, they'll bench him. And what did they do? They benched him.
Yep.
They did exactly what I thought. And I wasn't going to start Mullins because I thought if Mullins gets to start and he throws a pick, they'll bench him too. So, I don't know. It's
one of the keys that helped me win the baseball league was I picked up Justin Steele, the Cubs pitcher.
Ooh, yeah,
I got him in the 14th round.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. That's really how you win fantasy, no matter the sport. You're gonna hit in the first 5 or 6 rounds. There's just studs everywhere. It's the sleepers that you hit on that are gonna win for you, assuming you keep them.
Yeah.
Like, everybody gets their sleepers and then pass rounds 8, 10, 12. That's where you win. That's where the knowledge
Our
comes
league
from.
this year was 75 entry for 12 teams. Do you think we'd get enough? I think we'd get enough guys if we doubled it, right, to 150.
Ooh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Because 150 would give you 1,800. Then you could do like
people are going to really get uptight about trades and all.
If you got 1,800 in the pot, you could go like 1,000 to first place. You could go like 400 to second place, 250 to third place, and then 150 for seventh place.
Hey, Dan, we need to see a few more people in here use secure money or flex funding for me to consider going to 150.
Will Martinez.
Once I see a little bit of traction going to secure money or flex funding, I'll be like, oh, there's some ballers in here.
150, crap.
We can go to 150. We can go to 200.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder how many people would do that.
Yeah, people will get really uptight about shady moves.
Yeah. That's
Big
all,
time.
That's
Big
all,
time.
An issue, yeah.
To block, that's part of the
Then you would have to have limited moves, senior. Yeah, that makes sense.
No, you just got to be on top of it. Got to be on top of it.
I'm very curious to see where Yamamoto goes in this upcoming baseball draft. Is he top 3? Is he top 5? I mean, he's got great stuff, but he's still an unknown.
Where's Otani usually go?
Well, you have to draft Otani in our league. You can't draft him as both. You have to draft him as a pitcher or as a hitter. So he's not going to get drafted as a pitcher this year. Otani went in the back end of the first round this year.
Where would he go as a hitter? Top 7?
He might go top 5 this year.
Yeah.
As a hitter. Top 5. It's probably this year, if I had to guess off the top of my head, Acuna's going 1 again.
Will B says need to enforce legal rosters too. No, means no IR stash. I think Yahoo allows the IR stash. I like the IR stash.
Matt Olson ain't going in the 4th round this year. He's going to be in the 1st round.
You could do that. Will says have a limit on moves or charge money for trades. You could do I think I would be open to a limit. I don't know. I was just happy that guys ran out of fab money at the end.
A lot of people did.
Jim Thurkill, I'm the referee, Brad Allen. Oh gosh. Hey, you want to stir up something? How frustrating! Did you watch the college football games last night, Los?
I just watched Bama and Michigan. I didn't
Okay,
watch.
I watched them both. Check this out.
I watched a little bit of Washington because I like Panic.
Penix, oh, what an arm. What a passer, man. I would be thinking that guy's the top draft pick, man. Forget Caleb Williams. I'm taking Penix. I mean, Caleb Williams to me, he's like Bryce Young compared
I
to.
told a buddy of mine that's a Seahawk fan. I said, offer a team Geno Smith and some of your better players and a first round pick to move up and draft Penix, local kid. He's like, I would do it.
I don't even know if he's a local kid other than he played this last year. He used to play at Indiana. I'm not sure where he's from, but still. Hey, here's some controversy for you. Let's say the Niners win the Super Bowl.
Oh, I know where you're going. Go ahead.
Finish the sentence, see if you know where I'm going. Would I?
You're saying move off of Purdy.
Would you, because of the money that you're gonna have to pay him in a year or two? Would you trade if they won the Super Bowl?
Sell high.
Well, I'm a huge believer of selling high.
Yeah.
So I
would you trade Purdy to the Bears along with your first for the first pick to take Penix? I don't know if I'd do that though.
No.
The only problem with that is if Purdy wins the Super Bowl and he plays well and you trade him, you are going to piss off that locker room.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Yeah.
I don't think I'd do it.
We're going to upset that locker room big time because we just won with this guy and you're trading for, he's got all the talent in the world.
Oh, Will B says he hopes Penix falls to the Bucks in the late. He's not going late first round, Will. He's going top 5.
Yeah, you got to trade up for him, Will.
All the quarterbacks move up, and Ellinger, is it Ellinger? What's the guy? No, Texas.
There's 5 quarterbacks in this draft that could go in the first round, but
there's Mays, and Bo Nix, and the
kid from North Carolina.
Yeah, that's Mays, and then the kid from SC. I just Caleb Williams. I'll tell you what, Penix is by far the best pure passer, man. That guy can throw it on a bullet. He can loft it deep. He has such a nice touch. Got 11-inch hands. He can just grip a ball in the rain and just still throw it well. But last night, it really frustrated me because Texas had used their timeouts on first and second down. They had the ball about midfield, Washington, and they ran the ball up the middle. Timeout, Texas. Next play, ran the ball up the middle. Timeout, Texas. Now there's about 1 minute or maybe 58 seconds left on the clock, right? I think there was 58 seconds. Washington has the ball. It's like 3rd and 5. What does he do? I'm saying just take a knee. Take a knee. Because you're going to punt the ball with about 17 seconds left because there's a 40-second clock.
Mm-hmm.
You figure if there's 58 seconds, it's going to you can even do a shotgun if you're going to do it like they were doing shotgun already, and just take a couple of steps backwards and take a knee, and that takes 3 seconds. So now you're down to 55 seconds. So you're going to punt the ball with 15 seconds left. No timeouts for Texas. Let's say you punt it and it goes out of the end zone. and there's now 10 seconds left because that takes 5 seconds. Just take the delay of game penalty, back it up 5 yards. You're still close to me. Punt it. It's either inside the 20 or at the 20. 10 seconds left, no timeouts. In college football, virtually impossible to go the distance, because if you get beat in college football, you just grab the guy, and pass interference is only 15 yards.
15 yards, exactly.
So what does he do? He runs it up the middle. His star back gets hurt. Clock stops. They lose. Not only does the guy get hurt and he may be not even able to play next week, Texas now gets the ball with like 45 seconds left. And when they punted, the guy calls a fair catch, and the dope from Washington runs into him. 15-yard penalty. So now the ball, instead of being at the 15-yard line where he was called the fair catch, they're getting it at the 30. One long pass down to like the 30-yard line of Washington. Next play, another pass down to the 11 or 12-yard line. And it's down to like 3 plays left. And you just look like, oh my goodness, is Texas going to win this game? And they had no business even
being in it.
Why would you? I don't understand how coaches get to this level and don't get this. How do you not get this? Take a knee. You run the risk. There's so many risks of running the ball. One is a fumble. That's the biggest thing. 2, injury. Now you got the guy injured. He's your best back, and he probably is going to be out of the championship game the way he was carted off. Who knows? And it was just all unnecessary. And we saw a game earlier this year. I don't know if you guys saw the Miami game against, I don't know who they were playing. It was an ACC game. They were undefeated at the time. All the coach had to do is take a knee, and the clock would run out. Actually run out. They would have never got the ball. They fumbled.
Florida State.
Oh,
was it Florida State? I don't know if it was Florida State or thought it was somebody else. They fumbled.
By the way. Yeah.
Fumbled. They lost the ball. The other team gets it. I think it was like a Virginia or one of the Carolina schools. I don't know. But anyway, they ended up losing the game. It's just like, I mean,
I don't know how some of these coaches.
The guy in Miami did that. I mean, that's either a fireable offense or it's like, okay, you know what? We can't pay you today. I mean, are you? Here's your choice: we fire you for the whole season, or you just give us your paycheck back. Gosh, it's like you lost those kids. They were undefeated too, and it really messed with them.
Yeah, big time.
So
anyway. This one site has Yamamoto being the 21st pitcher drafted in fantasy as a starter.
No way.
21st. Wow.
No way.
Wow.
Wow.
Maybe because he's only going to get 26 starts.
Maybe.
32.
Hey, you know what? That's strong consideration. Can anybody guess who the number 1 pitcher and starting pitcher for fantasy is?
Yeah, I got it. Spencer Strider.
Yep. Why?
Strikeouts.
Bingo. Yep. You have to get when you draft pitchers, if you get guys that don't strike out a lot of people, you're going to quickly get behind in 2 categories: strikeouts and strikeouts per 9 innings. Like I tried to catch up and get a bunch of relievers that struck out, but that was my one weakness on my team.
I'll give you a guy to pick up this year if you're playing later in the rounds. Pick up Chris Sale.
Chris Sale, yep.
He's strikeout. Here's a fact.
Look at your guys. Listen to your guy. I can't do baseball. Yeah, look, he's already looking.
I'm gonna invite Dan to come over.
Here's an interesting trivia question. What pitcher with a minimum of 1,500 innings pitched has the most strikeouts per 9 innings in baseball history?
Ooh, isn't that Nolan Ryan?
No, it was
Baseball
some,
history?
it was some no name.
He's
Wasn't it
gotten a lot of damn
Walsh?
strikeouts.
Ed Walsh or something? It was some no name. I looked it up.
No.
Gibson or Koufax?
Nope.
Randy,
Nope.
the big unit.
You're not thinking clearly. I just
Say the question again.
which pitcher in Major
Oh,
League Baseball?
Which pitcher, not starting pitcher? Bruce
Well,
Sutter.
it could be starting pitching. I'll just say which with a minimum of 1,500 innings pitched. I don't think any relievers.
Oh, you're gonna have to be a
50.
starter.
The minimum of 1,500 innings pitched has the most strikeouts per 9 innings. I'll tell you what, it's not a reliever. So don't be thinking reliever.
I was about to say Eckersley because he started and closed. Struck out a lot of people because it's that innings requirement. Damn, a starter?
Yeah.
Most for 9? It's not Koufax or Gibson.
I thought it would be Ryan.
It's not Nolan
what's
Ryan.
his
It's not
Clemens?
Randy
How about-
Johnson.
Clemens? No, he was a big
No.
strikeout pitcher. I'm trying to think of big strikeout pitchers.
Doc Gooden.
Nope.
I think he's typing it in the chat. Pedro? He's typing it in the chat.
I'm not I'm doing. Let's see.
Look what Senior says. Wins the draft. Maddox wasn't a big strikeout guy, though, was he? Not saying he didn't have strikeouts, but I'm talking about as prolific.
Oh, this doesn't tell me. Come on. Well, where's the stinking pitchers?
Senior, question is, what pitcher that has a minimum of 1,500 innings pitched has the highest K per 9 innings? Stewie Fairchild. Aaron says Scherzer.
Okay, I'm going to put it up here. You guys ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Can you say it one more hand? Is it lefty or righty?
There he is.
Chris Sale. There it is.
No way.
Yeah, I know he has huge.
That's why I told you to draft him late. He's with the Braves. They're going to use him right. Look at that.
Is he
Scherzer.
healthy?
Yes, that's why they just traded for him. He pitched 100 innings last year and had 127 strikeouts, only 87 hits. If he gives you 100 and he'll probably give the Braves. My guess is if he gives them about 140 innings next year. Sale, Scherzer, Darvish, Johnson. Which Johnson is that?
Probably Randy.
Oh yeah, it was Garrett Cole, Martinez. Which Martinez is that? Pedro,
Probably Pedro.
Kershaw, Nolan Ryan, Corey Kluber, Kevin Gosman. Look at that, Lincecum.
Is
Koufax.
Strasburg up there? Because he was a strikeout machine.
I don't think he got 1,500 innings pitched.
I don't think he did. Yeah.
Before he got hurt.
Wow.
See, that's the thing about power arms.
See, there it is. The minimum of 1,500 innings pitched. Okay, so look at those. Let's look at that list. Carrasco's on there? Wow. Lance Lynn? Is that Sam McDowell at 8.86? Is that Sam McDowell? It must be,
That's
right?
him. Maybe.
Probably Jack McDowell.
Who's
Remember
that?
Jack McDowell, the White Sox?
No? You sure?
I think it's Jack McDowell.
Who's Gonzalez? Which Gonzalez we talking about? I don't know who that is. Gonzalez. Morton, Charlie Morton, Kurt Shearling, Scott Casimir,
Gonzalez. Is that Marco Gonzalez? It's got to be, right?
Cole Hamels down there. Look at this though. Charlie Morton, 8.63.
Oh, Gio Gonzalez. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, the Washington.
Forgot about Gio. Yeah.
Atlanta's got Morton, Sale, and then he doesn't have the innings pitch, but Strider, if he did, would be right up there at the top.
Wow.
So Atlanta is, I'm telling you, Atlanta is going to have a, I'll just say this. I think Dodgers going to have a tough time getting through Atlanta, especially after Atlanta didn't win it this year.
Yeah. Look what Tom says. He goes, he's been doing fantasy since 85. I do National League only, and I think it's the best. It is not a keeper league. We draft a new team each year. If you love baseball, it is a lot of fun.
Oh, Don from Evansville told us, what was the site you wrote down? Did you write
Diamond
that down?
Mind Baseball.
What was it? Let me
Diamond Mind.
Why don't we pull that up and let's
Go for it.
take a look.
Diamond Mind Baseball.
Is it .com, Diamond Mind?
I think so.
Well, let's just Google it.
Just Google Diamond Mind Baseball.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work.
Diamond Mind, right?
Yes, correct.
Not like a mine like in Pennsylvania.
No, like a mine that's between your ears.
DiamondMine.com. Here we go. Get your copy now. 23 annual season.
Yeah, Tom, how many teams in a fantasy? Is it 12?
Yeah.
Or is it more? It is 12. Okay.
Okay, so Diamond Mine.
Top 3 get paid.
Diamond Mine Baseball. What's the entry fee on your league?
200.
200.
Yeah.
With Diamond Mine Baseball, you can choose your starting pitcher and batting order, then make all the decisions about when to bunt, hit and run, bring the infield in, change pitchers, pinch hit, and run. Play with real-life rosters or set up an entirely new league with your own teams.
Oh, so this is not fantasy. This is more.
Then release players into free. Ooh, this is. Ooh. Release players.
This sounds more simulated than fantasy.
Quickly autoplay all or part of the season. Ooh, I can release players. Okay, let's see. Where do we start on the Giants? Oh man. That looks pretty good, everybody. Diamond Mine Baseball. There you go. You got to have a Windows 11 or 7 through
11, 10, 8, or 7.
So you just upgrade. So you just play on this. This is going to be something I do in maybe about 5 years when I retire.
Yeah, when you have more time for yourself, for sure.
Yeah, I can't focus. That's why I don't think
some people share a team. They do it with somebody else, and they both kind of keep track of it. There's a couple brothers, and they're the biggest shit talkers in our league. And I'm like, you guys split a team. Like one of you goes on vacation for a week and a half. I can't do that and monitor my team.
Yeah.
Like I'm sole proprietorship over here. You're joint tenancy. What are you doing? Get out of here.
Unless the Giants want to hire me as a full-time.
Look, that's
I might hire you as a consultant.
That's got Dan written all over it.
Over the years, we've had as many as 12, and
I'll pick his brain for sure.
Is getting guys who are active general managers and like to make moves. Keep their. I like to make moves. I like to make moves.
I'm definitely more aggressive in baseball than I am.
God, that does seem like a lot of fun.
Yeah, like I'll give you an example. The shortstop for the Brewers last year, kid that hits a lot of homers. What's his name?
Oh, Adames?
Who?
Willie Adames?
Right. I drafted him about the 8th round. He was one of my core pieces. Guy hit like 190, 200 for me. I stayed with him. He was bringing my batting average down every day. Here's the thing about baseball. You're busy at work, and then you find out your shortstop plays for a team that scores 12 runs. You go to the box score, and your guy's 0 for 5. You are pissed. Willie Adames was horrible for me. I finally let him go in late May, and I picked up the kid from Cincinnati, McLean, who raked for me the rest of the year. So, yeah, there's a lot of moves in baseball.
Well, I'll tell you, when you play fantasy of any sport, it definitely gets you more familiar with the rest of the league. You don't become like so tunnel vision just on your team. You start, I mean, you really learn. I mean, I was never a guy that just had tunnel vision. I always knew what was going on in the league. But one thing I realized just in playing fantasy football, there's a lot of guys that you end up learning about that you never would, maybe even if you were a serious follower of the sport.
Ironically, the Farhan philosophy actually works well in fantasy baseball because there are a lot more splits when you start getting into the later rounds. Like 2 years ago, I drafted the first baseman for the Rockies, CJ Cron. I only started him when they played at Colorado.
Can I hear what your finishing lineup was that won the league?
Oh, I'd have to go back and look at it.
Do you remember your first baseman?
Matt Olson.
Okay, second base.
Estrada.
Third, shortstop.
McLean.
Third base.
The guy for Cleveland.
J-Ram.
Who?
Jose Ramirez.
Yeah.
Ramirez. Okay, catcher.
Catcher towards the end of the year was actually was Bailey. I spot started him. I got him when he got hot, and then he cooled off a little bit. And I also had I can't remember who my other catcher was. God, you're gonna make me look this up.
While you're doing that, can you think? Can you look something up and think at the same time? It's hard for males. I know it is for me.
Yeah.
Left field or your outfield?
Julio Rodriguez,
Corbin
Carroll, and Aaron Judge.
Okay. What I was trying to do is figure if the team that won fantasy baseball actually would have done well in on paper, in a real major league season,
Right.
if that was your roster, and that definitely would have been a team to beat, a competitive team. So I was just wondering. I would say your up the middle defense was probably the weakest part of your team.
No, there's no defense in fantasy baseball. It's all offensive production or pitching, and that's the
Interesting.
key. Like there's
So it's
some
like
guys
a
in our
D8.
league
It's like a you could just
they
pick
don't
guys.
care.
Huh.
You have to have balance. Like there's some guys that they're stubborn. They draft hitters the first 3 rounds. They just go hitting.
I thought,
And I personally think that you can get like sleeper hitters later in the
didn't
draft.
you have Luis
easier than sleeper
Arise,
pitchers.
or was that the guy that was chasing you?
I traded for him.
Yeah, because I remember you talking about. You said you had Arise.
Yeah. Oh, I love him. I love.
So
that's
he
the
was your
whole thing.
second. He was
my
your second.
fantasy team is not going to be a bunch of guys that hit for power and don't hit average. So the stuff that I say here on this channel, I back it up with my fantasy team. You have to hit. You can't be a 210 hitter and play for Joe Boo's Rum. It's the name of my team.
Who? Joe what?
Joe Boo's Rum. You know the Cleveland who was the big cleanup hitter that hit for the in the major league movies.
Oh yeah.
He had his little guy. He had a Joe Boo's because I like rum. I like to drink rum, so I call myself Joe Boo's Rum. I have the the logo and everything.
I don't drink. Otherwise, if I did, I would probably be having rum every night.
Rum is good.
I love the taste of rum candy. You know when you get the rum candies?
Yeah.
Or rum in your ice cream.
Caribbean rum is the best.
Yeah, you get
Cuban and Puerto Rican rum.
Yeah, I love the taste of rum, man. I would be stinking. You wouldn't be here, and you'd be like,
Dan be sitting in his chair.
PK, man, there are fantasy baseball leagues that are for free if you want to play. Yeah, mine's isn't, but yeah, there's if you just want the thrill and
Hi, Buster boy.
strategy and
How's
competition,
your day?
yeah,
Hi,
they're out
buddy
there.
boy. You want to
For
say
sure.
hello to the crowd? How many people we got in the chat right now? About 90.
90 something.
Hi, Buster. You want to say hello to everybody? Oops, what happened?
I'll have to revitalize Gabe's food review.
Hi, Buster boy. Hello, Buster boy. You're taking in? Hey, Buster boy. Hey, Buster. Buster boy. And
Well,
here's
the poll
Faith.
says
Say hi, Faith. Hi, Faith. Faith's a real sweet dog, everybody, by the way. But, we got action. Buster's going for – come on, Buster, stop that.
so. I said, would you be interested in NorCal Sports Network Fantasy Baseball League? 66% said yes. 33% said no.
Maybe Eric can run it.
Man.
I don't know if I could get into that, man.
Yeah, that's it. It'll take some work. No doubt about it.
I don't know if I can. Thank you. Beautiful dogs. Yeah, they are great dogs. Yeah, they over the holidays they became we kind of watched a lot of movies and hung out on the couch and with a blanket the dog got onto the couch and they became pretty much couch dogs. Not there's Buster on the couch laying on me. Yeah, look at it.
Oh, Ruiz.
There you go.
Had to put a blanket.
Ruiz was my catcher from Washington.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I also had Jung at third base.
Face with a Christmas hat.
Yeah.
Christmas
Jung from Texas. That's
I
nice.
got him late.
Yeah, Robert Boyd, except for the dog farts. Yeah, man. I'll tell you, if those gosh. Dogs farts, man.
Rough.
Yeah. So anyway, I think we got to call it a night, man. We've been going from 9
almost
to 8 to
we've
11,
gone 3 hours.
3 hours. So we will come back again tomorrow. I don't know if
anything gets done.
I'm not going to say anything's getting done. I'm not even. You know what? I don't. At this point, as I've said many times, it's time to crap or get off the pot. Come on.
Supposedly, Imanaga is visiting teams this week.
Yeah, he has to sign by next week. I heard his window closes the 11th. So expect Imanaga to sign this week. Today's the 2nd. I mean, he could push it into next week, but I don't think he will because if he takes the chance of pushing his physical till late and he fails his physical for any reason.
Oh, good point.
That would be pretty crazy, Giants sign him. They sign him on the 9th or 10th, hold the press conference on the 12th. They decline, and then he's got to be sent back to Japan because it's
another year. Yep.
I don't know.
Man, it's going to be interesting because supposedly the Dodgers are in on him too, right?
Who knows?
What would we got here?
What do we got there? Los, the champion?
The champion.
Oh, that's too faded. Damn, I'm actually. You know what? I've won a few fantasies. It's been a few years, but that baseball one, I actually feel probably the best at. Like I said, it's such a grind.
I bet that's got to be rewarding.
Yeah, the first month of the season with all the stats going up and down, you're from 12th place to 2nd place, and then you have your whole team goes 2 for 24, and you're back down to 11th place. And then around late May, June, it's kind of starts settling in, like the cream starts rising to the top. But
wow,
it's fun. I mean, I say it's a lot of work. It is, but it's a lot of fun. It really is. If you could do it, hey, maybe you and Eric could do it together.
PK Man says, did Los D win the fantasy football? No, let me put the guy up who won fantasy football.
Where have you been? I haven't been relevant since like week 10.
Hey, what happened? My screen. Look at what happened. I messed it up. Look at, what do I got to hit?
Control 0.
Oh my goodness. Control 0. It's not back. Oh, there it is. All right. Let me show you the winner of the NorCal Sports Network Fantasy Football League. You're looking at him right here. No collusion, no cheating, everything on the up and up. This guy finished 7th, winning his last.
Like 5 or 6. It's quite a
Got
bit.
hot. And this guy lost his last 6 or 7. That sad face.
Thanks for your confidence in me, though.
Look at that. Yep. Misguided confidence. Hold on. Hey, what happened? Did you just take yourself out while I was?
Nope.
Okay.
Not at all. Who finished last? I think that was Sean, wasn't it?
Our commissioner. Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. What do you think of Los? You've been playing fantasy football for 10 plus years, right?
20 plus years.
Okay.
20.
The question is was it funner back in the day when guys didn't get hurt as much and you can kind of count on them?
Oh yeah.
Is it not as fun playing now as it was then? Because Sean told me he doesn't enjoy it that much anymore.
I agree with him. I mean, at least speaking for myself, there's been so many times I've, and it happened in my other league, where I've been the best team all year, and something in the playoffs, something fluky happens where some guy on guys that you can get beat by Devontae Adams and superstars. It's when like this nobody comes out of nowhere and puts up 40 points and beats you. And yeah, people get injured way more than, like I said, this is a perfect example. Backup quarterbacks where you had Joe Flacco going up against Jake Browning in people's championships. Like who? So yeah, it's not as fun for sure.
Will B even says the same. Another guy's experience in fantasy football. Is my mic down or is somebody?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Fine to me.
Will B, I wonder how many leagues has Will B won? I think he's won like 8 or 9 titles if I saw right. How many titles have you won, Los?
In football, over 20 years, 3. Okay, easily could have been 6 or 7. Boy, I had some really, really good teams. Oh God, some bad memories.
Maybe I'll send this. Hey, how's
I
that?
will always hate Baker Mayfield, man. That guy's
Hey, look.
screaming.
It lets me text. I sent you a text. Says the champ is here. I won't gloat too much longer. I'll just just maybe a half hour. No, I'm
There it is.
I was trying to look up how many championships. Let me look here. League. If I look at view team levels,
I won another championship, but it was not in a money league. It was free, so I don't really count that. I like to play for money. But
I was trying to find out where you look up their
It depends. Like Yahoo, ESPN, they have like a history of.
Yeah, I thought I saw it before when you. Oh, I know where you got to go to. You got to compare managers.
Mhm.
You go to compare league managers, and when you look at them,
Trivia's waiting. Kyle, don't say that, man. Dan's going to keep us here another hour.
no, I'm done. So don't give me any needles, man.
You can give us one, maybe.
One? Okay, one.
One out the door trivia question. Because Dan doesn't like when I beat him in trivia. He doesn't like anybody beating him in trivia.
Me? Well, come on, Kyle. Shoot one question.
Yeah.
You can call in on the phone line if you want.
Just type it in the chat.
Might take them too long to chat it. 707-673-6060 if you want to call it in instead of typing it, because if you're like me, it takes too long to type. I don't know if he has one or not. Trivia. I gave you a pretty good trivia question tonight with Chris.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
I heard it on I was listening to XM Radio, Channel 89, the baseball channel. I heard it tonight. Yeah.
Sometimes I like Giants trivia that it's not really trivia. It's just like who was the starting infield for the 1990 Giants, or who was the opening day pitcher for a certain year? Who was the manager for a certain year?
Can you name the last 15 seasons from 2008 to 2023, the starting left fielders of each season?
Oh, it was different every year. You know that. It
Like
was
left-
different.
Really, there's been a different outfielder every year.
Yeah.
In left field,
crazy.
they have not had a back to. Who started last year? Sable? I think it was.
So. It was Sable out in
Yep.
left field.
And they probably will have another one this year.
It would have been Haniger if he didn't fucking blow out his hammy.
Yeah.
You could save it for another day, Kyle, if you don't have it. No worries.
Yeah, no worries. He's gonna Robert Boyd, what does he got to say here? Los, who was on deck when Bobby Thompson was at the plate before his home run?
Yeah, it was
Willie
Willie.
Mays.
Yeah. Willie.
I think it was, wasn't it?
Same.
His rookie year, right? 51? Or was that 54?
No, that was in no, it's 51 rookie year.
51, yeah. Do you know Willie, if you look at his baseball card, he had
Who was on deck when Hank Aaron hit his 750 whatever?
Dusty Baker.
Dusty.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I got it first.
Look at Dan.
Buster. Nobody beats Buster's boys. Except I barely made the playoffs. I knew if I got in the playoffs, I would know.
When Juan Perez bobbled that ball in left field, what was his first reaction?
Kick it again.
You knew he was crapping himself. He's kicking that ball all over the damn plants. I was like, come on, pick it up.
That was that agonizing or what?
Oh, it was. I was like, oh my. You know what's funny? I was literally retiring out of the Air Force and we were moving out of the house and the movers were moving all the stuff out and they let me keep a sofa and a TV so I could watch that last damn game.
Oh my goodness. You
And
know,
I was about doing that exact thing. I was about.
We ought to do a
myself.
segment or a show on that last play and see if he would have really scored if he came.
We did.
We did that. Yeah, he knows. Oh man.
Man, we broke that down.
That we it was like
Computer
an
graphics
hour
and
and a half.
everything.
Yeah,
we figured out he would have been out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Google Earth.
Yeah,
Not
because
a-
Crawford has a gun for an arm.
Who was
Yeah,
it? Me?
what was shocking, that was so much further out than it looked like.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Car-
anyway, let's wrap it up.
Kyle's got his question up.
Oh, he does? Who was
He
the
wants us to
first?
show his hands. Show our hands.
Who was the first San Francisco Giants pitcher to strike out 15 batters in one game? San Francisco Giants.
15 batters in one game?
Marichal.
I was going to say Marichal because he pitched an 18-inning game.
I was going to say Carl Hubble, but he said San Francisco Giants.
15? Would he have ever struck out 15? Maybe. Lincecum, maybe? He was a huge strikeout guy.
Lincecum had 14 game one against the Braves. I was at that game. Best pitch game I've seen in person.
Matt Cain, he's had a few where he's been up there too.
Who's the answer? Let's get the answer.
I'm going to say Tim.
There wasn't as many strikeouts back in the day, was there, Los?
There wasn't what?
There's many strikeout guys that, although Gibson could strike out a lot, but
that was the Zapruder. That's good. That was the Zapruder episode with the freaking breaking down that game 7.
It's Gaylord. He said Gaylord Perry.
Gaylord. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say him, but I don't remember him being a big strikeout guy.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh.
Thanks,
All right, guys. I thank you. I finished my 40 ounces of water.
There you
It's
go.
12:30. I'll be up pissing all night. Thanks. Oh. 3:30 in the morning. 4:30.
Just get an adult diaper. Just go right in the bed.
Oh, jeez. Gosh, Eric, come on. An adult diaper.
Come on. All right, guys.
That's awesome. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for joining. We'll be back tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Thanks for joining NorCal Sports Network. Tell your friends, family, loved ones all about NorCal Sports Network, where everything's happening in San Francisco Giants baseball, and nothing's happening, though. So, everything
first
that's
episode
happening.
of 2024 in the books.
You know what? We're getting an Emmy for doing this damn show. 3.5 hours talking about nothing. Seriously, night after night.
Oh, man.
If anybody deserves an Emmy, it's us, man. This is painful endurance.
At least give us a 14-karat gold quad candlestick button.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the coin. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll give LaCrow's what was that called? The Crow.
Quad candlestick.
Yeah. We need something like that. And you know what? We may just have to get Fargon back here to Fargon may make an appearance tomorrow night.
New Year's resolution.
Marty won't come on until they make a move.
Yeah, I've talked to Marty, and what
Marty's going to be like, "What are we going to talk about?" Marty's no fool. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
you even got Kruko out there saying stuff. So I mean, that's.
I have to go read what Kruko said because I'm.
Yeah, I might have to call Kerry Crowley back again and get him back on here again.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah. Hey, everybody, have a great one. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Woo!